All right. Let me see. So we are back. So one more small explanation. The podcast is officially starting right now. We have people already waiting in the Discord, and we're going to interview the Exfilzone community one by one. What it's about hearing other people's their experiences, and we also want to know what they think of the wipe, what are the pros, what are the cons, and we want to know from everybody one big suggestion for the next wipe. And that's the kind of info that we're also going to give towards Caveman Studios. So I'm really curious how all of this will go, how many people will join, and yeah, that's about it. Like in 1.5 hours, we also have a really big announcement. I partnered up with a company that is doing charities. We are going to launch a Hayaplays product today. And a certain amount of money each time you guys will buy that will be sent to charity. But more of that in 1.5 hours. We have a promo video and everything that we will show on this stream. And when that promo video is done, we will continue with the podcast. We will start talking a little bit about the charity. I will explain the charity as well. And then we continue with the podcast. And then when the podcast is over, I will give away a gold boy. And then I really hope that the person that wins it is a person that needs it or has a friend that needs it. Yeah? All right. So I would say let's start. Dil, I'm down that you move somebody towards me. Hello.
Hello, Aya. It's Malleyy.
Hey, I see it. It's Smorleyyy. How you doing, man?
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. And thanks for your time as well. Maybe you've prepared already a little bit, and maybe you know the questions already. So we all know this is Smorleyyy. But I'm also curious, how old are you?
I'm 37.
37 years. And how do you actually play the game? What kind of headset do you have?
I have a Quest 3 like yourself, but I've only been playing for the past 15 days. I've only just really got into Contractors, so I'm very new to this. So I've been watching a lot of your videos and other streamer videos, and you live on Twitch.
Yeah.
To learn a bit more about how to play the game more efficiently.
Okay, that's really cool. And how do you play? Do you play standalone, or do you use something like Steam VR? Do you play wireless or with a cable, or?
I generally play standalone.
Okay.
My PC isn't spec'd enough to play via Steam, so standalone it works perfectly fine. I don't really see many crashes or anything like that. So far it's all good.
Okay, so you've only been playing for 15 days now, you say?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are you able to give us some pros about like what are the good things that you experience right now, the first 15 days that you're playing? Like how does the game feel for you? Like you join in late in a wipe, people have already gear. Like how is that experience for you?
Generally it's still okay because I can still go out and with Contractors you're able to actually go ahead and scav and not worry too much about losing anything too valuable and to learn the maps in that sense. What I was doing beforehand, I was playing Tabor.
Okay.
And Contractors is a much better and more diverse game in my eyes compared to playing something like Tabor. And graphically, it's much better. It's beautiful. The gameplay is better structured and it is harder. There is more of a challenge, I find.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do prefer Contractors in this sense because of that.
All right. And what is the best thing that has happened to you in this wipe? If you can think of something.
Yesterday, I did my first Metro raid and I killed the boss straight off the bat.
Oh, that is really nice.
That so far that is the best thing that's happened. I was very, very, very concerned about going into Metro, but I thought, hell, let's go for it, see what happens. And I killed the boss, killed a player, The lobby was pretty much wiped. Free to loot away. It was great.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. Well, then the down part of it, do you also have, I wouldn't really say do you have like negative experiences in the game right now, but are there like things that you experience right now that could be better? Like what are the cons for you?
Losing guns through the map. That is the biggest pain in the backside, especially when you've gone around and you've actually killed loads of people, and then you've ended up going, right, great, I've got this great gun, and you're walking around and you're not really paying attention to your hands because you're looking around for everybody else or somebody sneaking up on you, and then all of a sudden the gun's just disappeared out of your hand because it's just disconnected somehow or clipped into something. That is a pain in the backside, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just part of the game right now.
Yeah, okay. So you do understand it's an alpha.
Yep.
It still needs some tweaking, but it is an annoying thing, but it's not something that could make you that mad that you would leave the game, right?
No. It is completely understandable, especially with the game being in an alpha. I've played other alphas before where they've been completely unplayable, or like the rendering's not worked or something like that. That is not the case with Contractors right now.
No, okay.
Contractors is not far from being a full polished game.
Yeah,
I
and that's
don't see
crazy.
why they haven't pushed it over the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine that they are only going. They haven't even reached the year title yet.
Yeah.
You know, so they are doing a great job.
Yeah, it is a pretty much polished game. It's so close. It's so close. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. All right, then the last question that I would like to ask you is, if you were one of the game developers, right? And the wipe is next week. Let's say it's next week. And you can change one more thing. You can add one more thing to the game. What would you add?
I would put something in to stop the leg meta. So at the moment, you can put your armor on so it covers you from waist upwards to your head, but there's nothing there to look after your legs.
Yeah.
Maybe putting in some sort of leg armor that will give you the protection on your legs, but also counteract by you're a bit more slower or you have to use adrenaline more often to keep up the actual pace. So there's also a downside to having that leg armor on, but you are actually covered from the waist down, as opposed to just being completely naked and somebody just shooting your legs and wiping you out in that sense.
I like the fact that you come up with an idea, but you also immediately say it should have a downside. Like, we do have the Mall Boss armor. It has like the upper leg protection, of course. But you are talking about like a full plated leg carrier or something. But with the downside that it or brings a lot of weight or it adds inertia or some bad ergonomics to your character.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't jump or something like that. Where you have to take off your armor and stuff to actually get up over something, which you already have to do if you're overweight with a big backpack on, another bit, and if your stamina's too low. Add something like that kind of mechanic so that there is a downfall against having this extra protection on your legs.
I really like that idea. Is there like anything else in particular that you want to add to this podcast, interview, or stream?
No. Apart from just keep up the good work. You and your mods are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Not a problem, buddy. Not a problem. Have a good one, bud.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the chat.
Yeah, buddy. See you in a bit.
Hey, see you in a bit, man. Much appreciated. And any moment we can get our new guest, second guest. But I like this idea. This is a good idea. A lot of people have been talking about this already. And who do we have here?
We have me, EliteChezburgr.
EliteChezburgr. I can see it in the picture. Oh, and we're gonna get a webcam as well?
We get a webcam.
I'm curious if it's gonna load. I see nothing yet.
Give it a second.
Oh wow! For some reason, it switches up our pictures. Let me see if I can give it a fix. Give me 1 quick second.
All right.
All right, I want to start off the bat. You look great.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
You look really great. Holy shit, mate. That looks really funny. All right, so EliteChezburgr. Let's start
Yeah.
with the first question. How old are you?
17.
You're 17 years old. Okay. And how long have you been playing this game?
I've been playing since the free alpha, since it was free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you actually was there from the start.
Yeah.
Okay, really cool. And what do you use to play the game? Like, you use what headset do you use? And
I use a Quest 2 standalone.
a Quest 2 standalone, so you don't connect it to the PC or whatever. You just play on the headset all by itself.
Yep.
And this is what I'm really happy about, that we have a Quest 2 standalone user, because I always read a lot of stories about Quest 2 users that have more issues than Quest 3 users or people that use PC VR. Could you tell me a little bit about it? Like, I want to start directly off the bat with that. What are the negative experiences that you have that you feel like it's because of the Quest 2?
So I would say mostly it's the rendering of long distance targets. Because I have trouble whenever I'm in a fight. I have a hard time hitting enemies from far away because it's like the graphic quality at longer range isn't nearly as refined and it causing problems.
Okay.
But in close range, it's still fine for combat, I would say.
Yeah, and how is it crash-wise? Like, do you feel like you crash more often, or is that something that a lot of people say, but it's not the case?
I actually don't crash too much, really. I crash about the same amount as my friends who play on Quest 3.
Okay. Well, then...
So crash-wise is about the same.
Yeah. Okay, it's about the same. It's not like that you don't feel like the Quest 2 is giving you a bigger disadvantage crash-wise than a Quest 3 user.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's good. What are your pros of actually this wipe? Like, what are the good things that you're experiencing?
Okay, so I really like how I know some people may not like it, but I like the fact that they made Metro a paid. Like, everybody says about, like, back then, when you're running scav raids, it's a little bit overpowered, and this balances out quite a bit. Whenever someone, like, puts a Metro ticket in, they're risking their money, which is 200k, might be not much for some people, but some people it might be quite a lot. So it incentivizes you to go geared and maximizes combat and makes it more fun overall.
Yeah. I highly agree on that. All right. And are there, like, any cons to this wipe, in your opinion?
Yes. As previously mentioned before, I kind of have a little bit of trouble with whenever stuff, like, clips out of existence, like water battles. Oh, yeah. There's this one thing. I get a lot of occasional lag spikes while playing on Quest 2, and it automatically makes you drop anything out of your hand except for your gun. And
Yeah.
it happens like every minute or so, and sometimes it can be a bit detrimental.
Okay. Yeah. Totally get it. Everybody has that.
Clipping through floors and desks. That's kind of my biggest gripe about so far, but nothing serious. It's a great game.
Good to hear. And what are the pros for this wipe, in your opinion?
So I've already talked about Metro. So I would say the new map Resort. It's really well balanced. Like, it takes some of that close range aspect that Metro has, but it, like, also has long range capabilities like Suburban Dam. It's like a really well balanced map for those who want to switch up their play style a lot, and it opens a lot more possibilities for usage for gun wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of new strategies to learn. You can learn from that map, and it makes everything more fun.
Hmm. Okay. And I've asked this question to the first guy as well. If you would be one of the game developers, the wipe is next week, and you were like, oh shit, I wanted to add that. Like, what would be that one top suggestion of you to add to the game for the new wipe?
Alright, thanks. I've actually thought about this for a whole week, and what I came up with was nighttime maps.
Okay. And how do you feel? And how do you see that, like in the game? Like, we have to select nighttime, or it's randomized? Because it also, if you would add that, we would actually get. If we have 4 maps now, we would have 8 maps, and then we would also need the right amount of people for all those maps to be filled to get queues. Like, have you thought about that part as well?
Yes. So I was thinking of like a day and night cycle type of thing, where basically you have like maybe 2 hours of day and like 30 minutes to 1 hour of night. Anybody who wants to doesn't have to wait too long, but those who don't want it only have to wait like 30 minutes before. And it would be on each map would be separately. So this map is night right now, but that other map is day, so I can go play that. It would also encourage people to diversify their maps if they don't want to go night, and they wouldn't just be running the same map the whole time.
So if I would picture this in front of me, you would be like, if you play on the map, you would have a sun in the left corner, and that goes over the map. So at some time, if the sun is left, it would probably mean that suburbs and, let's say, resort, they are daytime, but metro and them would be nighttime. And then a few hours later, metro and them are day, and resort and suburb would be night. So you will have to relate your map choice based on what time it is on that map.
Yes, and on top of that, it would also allow Caveman Studios to expand their night vision system. So currently there's only one night vision that's kind of broken. And it's, well, not broken, like it's like really overpowered.
Why is it overpowered?
Could make, like, work. I say, like, if that were the only night vision available and you brought that to a night map, it has full view. Like, there's no like restrictions, like you can only see this much out of here. Like, if they expanded it, they can make cheaper night visions that have lower FOVs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, same as in Tarkov. I know the game Tarkov, they have like 3 or 4 type of night visions. And there's like the basic night vision, it's one lens, and that literally gives you a circular vision, and all the other white vision is blocked out. But then you also have another one that has 2 lenses. It becomes like an oval shape. And then you have like the spider night vision. It's one with 4 or 6 lenses, and then you have the full view. But that one is really expensive. You're talking in that kind of way.
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting, really.
All right, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well,
thanks.
Like I said, I want to keep most of the interviews between 5 to, let's say, 10 minutes max, and that's mostly because I'm not sure how many more people will join. Everybody that's in the chat right now, if you want to get into this interview, all you have to do is join the Discord and we can have a chat about this. Everything we're doing here is being made into a big video, and it will be sent to Caveman Studios as well. So let your voice be heard if you're interested. Hey, Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for looking really sexy.
Hey.
Interesting.
No problem, man.
And I'll see you in chat.
I'll see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem,
Have a nice
man.
day.
Have a nice day as well, man. Hey, Ngalfar, you can join the interviews as well. I don't mind. Like, everybody that has something to say about it is good. So I'm down for anything.
Hey.
Hello. Let me see. Now I need to change it again. So if somebody turns his webcam on, the stuff changes, and when they don't do it, it stays there. So let me change this real quick. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
There we go. All right, so we are talking with
Bumshot 0.
Bumshots.
Extremely important.
The 0 is extremely important, and why is that?
Extremely important. It's just a joke. I used to play with a competitive Smite team,
Mhm.
which is a MOBA, and we had a coach, and he would refuse to not say the 0. And when I was like, "Why do you say the 0 every time?" He was like, "It's extremely important." So it's just kind of an in joke.
Ah, okay. Well, let's start straight off the bat. We are talking with Bumpshot here. And I am really curious, first of all, how long have you been playing this game?
I think I am starting to approach week 4, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
You started this wipe?
Yeah.
Ah,
About
okay.
midway through.
And how old are you?
25.
25, okay. And I guess you're enjoying the game since you're still playing after 4 weeks?
Oh yeah, it's addicting.
It's addicting.
I kept trying to get into Tabor, not to keep bringing up the ops, not to keep bringing it in the competition, but
Mhm.
you know, I kept trying to get into Tabor, and I kept trying to get stuck in, and I just couldn't do it. I was not having enough fun to keep playing the game consistently, and I'm not having that. I'm not having that problem with Exfilzone. I'm having a blast.
No, that's really good to hear. And how do you play the game? Like, what equipment do you use?
I am also on Quest 2 standalone.
Standalone. And do you experience anything about all the negativity that we hear on the Discords?
Yeah, some of it. I think Cheeseburger touched on a lot of it. The main thing I experience is similarly the resolution just that the game runs in for standalone makes it really hard to see targets at range, and there's also some pop in.
Mhm.
So like the textures themselves, the level of detail will change, and it kind of does it in a weird way where, like, for the biggest example I could think of is like when you're on Resort. If you're standing at fire station looking at workers' dorms, the textures will get really flickery because if you like move your headset even a little bit, you'll go in and out of the rendering zone, and it'll just like pop like crazy and look really crazy and not good. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. That, and also there's this weird thing that happens in the hideout where items that you're like really close to will be really low level of detail. So I'll be looking at a can that I can't tell if it's like a can of soda or a can of the
Yeah, okay.
whatever the thing is, like the building material that comes in the little bottle. Yeah, so those are the biggest issues, but that's kind of like to be expected. Quest 2 is kind of outdated at this point, so I'm not
But
too upset about it.
the game is fully playable. Like, I know that 80% of the users are Quest 2 users.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It looks a little funky. They could do some cleaning up with the rendering, especially at range. But to be honest, like especially now that I've kind of gotten into the groove of this wipe and I've gotten some better stuff, I've been having no problem putting bullets into heads. So, you know, is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, let's start with pros. What are your pros looking into this wipe? Like, what are the good things? What do you like?
I think the loot balance is my favorite thing about this game so far this wipe. Like, it's a problem I have with almost every other extraction shooter where it's just like, oh, you hop in, I pick up all this stuff, and I go to my hideout, and I find out 90% of it is useless, and I feel like I wasted my time.
So, okay, your point is like that every item, like almost every item has like an actual use.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like almost every raid, I pick something up, it's like, oh, I need that, and then I'm like excited to grab it and get it out of the raid and put it in my hideout.
Hmm.
That's the biggest thing. It's just like all the loot feels good.
All right. Did you know that last wipe we had more static spawns, and this wipe is actually the first wipe that a lot of things have become dynamic?
I have found that out by trying to find ways to find stuff that I
yeah. So sometimes you have like a little crate, and the next raid the crate is not there. Like last wipe, that crate was always there, and now they've changed it, and I love that dynamic spawn rate.
Yeah, I like the dynamics as well. It's also like something like I think it kind of trains you to look more for like the kind of crates and stuff too, and just going to certain loot spots, which I think is a little bit more fun.
Nice.
It feels a little bit more immersive.
All right, so for somebody that has just been playing for 4 weeks, are there like any cons, like things that you've experienced, things that you've seen, or stuff that has happened to you, and you're like, fuck, if that wouldn't just have been in the game, or whatever?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing, like, okay, well, the biggest thing is the stuff clipping through the floor. I think, I think everyone's gonna say that.
Everybody's gonna say that.
But so we're gonna pretend that I didn't say that. For me, the other thing that I think could be more actionable is I think there's not enough penalty for not bringing anything, because it's already like you might die, like sure,
Oh,
but they know that.
Yeah,
Like Tarkov has the tagged and cursed
tagged
system.
and cursed for bringing nothing in, so every scav will hunt you. Yeah.
I think it would also be more fun for hardcore players because then it's not like you don't just like run in, like get a couple of pieces of food and then run in and get a gun and then you're basically just playing the game at that point. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get started. I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. I get that. All right. And yeah, just to top it off with that one, what would something be that you would like to see in the next wipe? Like, do we need something in the hideout? Is there a simple quest system? Like, do you have like any big suggestion that you would like to see?
So this comes from a different VR game that I was playing back in like 2016. I still play it. It's called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. I don't know if
one more time.
It's called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades.
Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades.
Yeah, so it's a gun simulator, and it has a really cool system for bolt actions that I like a lot.
Okay.
Where it's called quick bolting, where if you imagine like you're holding a bolt action rifle, like a Mosin,
yeah,
and you have your forward hand in the game. If you press on quest, it would be the Y button with your forward hand. It unlocks the bolt, and you can just pull your hand back and push it forward, and you'll rack the bolt that way. You don't have to like let go of your grip and then grab the bolt and then do.
So you can immediately shoot by bolting.
Yeah, it makes bolting a lot smoother, and I think it would kind of make the game a little more fun.
It's almost like how it's almost like how the cowboys use the revolver, right? They just press the trigger, and then they would go with their hand like that.
Yeah, so the way it works, basically, you just like press the Y button, do the action you would do with the bolt, just like lift your hand up and flick it back down, and then you're ready to go again. I think that I really like that system in H3 and I always miss it when it's not in other VR games. So I'd really love to see that come to this game.
That is
action's a lot more fun.
That is a really specific one, but I like it. It's something else. Like a lot of people always say the same thing, so it's really nice to hear something that comes from a really different area. Yeah, I like it. Let me just give a quick peek on Discord. Yeah, we got like some more people in there, and I know that I have like 3 or 4 more people also coming. I want to thank you for your time, and we're gonna hop in the next person.
I'll see you, man.
Hey, later, dude. All right, let's see if this. All right, so chat, if this guy is gonna use his webcam. Oh, I recognize this picture. This is Hunter.
What's up, man?
Yeah, that's Hunter.
It's me.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Flush. I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing really good as well, man. How you liking the stream so far?
Stream's awesome.
Yeah,
like any other stream, dude. It's good, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, this is something new. I also don't think that any other streamer has done this already for contractors. So for a lot of people, this could be something new. But I hope a lot of people appreciate it too. That we like actually take a little bit of time to share each other's thoughts. So
yeah, no, this is definitely an easy way to get like those bugs and like certain things that people like or don't like, to the developer. So
yeah. All right, let's start off with a short introduction, of course. This is other hand. This is Hunter. This beautiful guy. And how old are you, Hunter?
I am 24.
You're 24. Damn, you got a good voice for a 24-year-old. But all right, back to the subject.
Thank you.
Hey, how do you play the game? Like, what equipment do you use?
I use the Quest 3 standalone.
The Quest 3 standalone. Okay, so we haven't had people yet that have the headset connected to the PC or play wireless like myself. But are you? How was your experience by using the Quest 3 standalone?
It's very positive. Other than the bug that I have, which is the low memory, that kicks me out of the game occasionally if I crash, and I know a lot of other people have that problem. Other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah. Like I play Quest 3 as well, but wireless with a really good connection, and I experience like nothing. I always know that when I crash, it's game related and not based on my equipment. So I have a really positive feedback about that part as well. If you can give me some, how long have you been playing actually?
I've been playing since November of 24.
Okay, so you were here like at the start as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so you are the second wipe in. And what are your pros if you would compare this wipe to the first wipe?
Well, pros wise, I actually have quite a few.
Take your time. Take your time. It's good.
So the one thing I do like about this wipe are the valuable spawns, how they spawn so frequently, and you know the spawn point, right? So you know where to go, keys, valuables in general. You're able to go to those spots knowing that there's a possibility of it's either going to be there or it's not. Most of the time, it's there. But if it isn't, that's fine. You can always go to a different spot. Or if somebody's in that same area as you are, you can go find them, kill them if they haven't put it in their container and take it from them. So I think that's a pretty cool addition that it's more frequently spawned.
Yeah.
My second one, with the armor and helmet use, right? So
okay, yeah.
You go into a raid, you get shot up a bunch, you go back into your hideout if you make it out. You're able to repair your armor and your helmet. You brought this up the other day. No, it wasn't you actually. It was another streamer that brought this up.
Okay. The
degradation of the armor, when you put it on your stand, you fix it, the overall durability goes down. And I like that a lot about it. It's a really good touch. You know, you're not using the same kit over and over again. At some point, you're gonna have to ditch the kit and get a new one, or it's gonna force you to grind harder in order to get more kits if that's your only decent kit.
I get what you mean.
So that's also a pretty good addition.
Interactives
in the hideout, right? So in the first wipe, there wasn't a lot of interactive like hideout. Like, you know how you can open the fridge, you can store things in the fridge. There's not really a syringe rack where you can put different medical supplies, such as your big medical pens and whatnot. I do like that a lot. And being able to store your fuel cans closer to your generator so you're not walking halfway across your hideout to go grab one, fill your generator up, et cetera, et cetera. So I really think that that's a good idea. Adding more interactives, this is a suggestion, adding more of these interactives into next wipe, being maybe that cart that we have next to the syringe rack, maybe we can just put syringes on there. That would be a pretty good idea. I would think that would be awesome. So overall, the interactives in the hideout, amazing.
All right. And do you have like any cons if you would compare them to each other, or just cons based on this wipe? Feedback is always good.
Cons wise for the interactives, not really, because I mean they've only improved. Nothing has gone downhill, so there's really no cons on that kind of part. Just two more pros, and then I have a few cons I can
go ahead. I love to hear them.
The boxes dedicated to the mags and attachments. That right there, wow. When I talk to my friends, it's a huge help, because before your walls were cluttered with attachments, or your shelves were being cluttered with attachments, you weren't able to store everything properly. But now with these attachment boxes and magazine boxes, you're able to consolidate everything into boxes, and they're pretty cheap. So you can just go out and buy them if you have a lot of money, right? And you can just collect all the attachments and magazines that you want. And that was an amazing addition on Caveman's behalf. The last one that I have, the healing system, right? When it comes to our suture kits, right? We have 3 levels. You have the first, second, third. I think that was amazing. Being able to use the best suture kit to get the best results. You know, I mean, just having multiple suture kits to be able to get different results out of it for your character, at least, and it really all throws into the survival of your character. So I think that was an amazing throw-in as well on their behalf.
No, I totally agree. I was really into it when they were already pre-showcasing it in pictures and everything. I was like, finally, the med system is already in-depth for VR, but this makes it even better. I really love the fact that they added the part where you lose a percentage of your maximum body parts health as well. It's literally the same as in Tarkov, but I just love the fact that they added that.
So the cons, I only really have 2 cons because everything's been a positive experience so far.
Nice.
Regardless of like bugs and stuff like that, that's just something we can't really help unless we submit it into the Discord. Cons. So when it comes to our storage boxes, I know everybody probably doesn't like this, especially new players coming into the game. When you have to spend 1.6 million on a storage box for 20 kilos, I think that's a little much. And to be fair, you can't really store big items in that, right? if you don't want to like clutter up your hideout too much and you're saving items for your hideout upgrades, right? I would think they would either need to increase the size of the box or be able to lower the price for a lot of players, because to be honest, 1.6 million is a lot for a lot of people.
I know
not
that.
Everybody
I know
plays
that.
the game like we do.
I know that.
Constantly, right?
But we
People
have a box
jobs.
for 800k, yeah? Or is that not enough in your opinion?
We do. It's not enough. It's 10 kilos. I mean, you can store small things in there because some of the medium items will take up more space within that box.
I totally agree with you. So what would your suggestion be? Like it's 20 kilos, the 1.6 mil one. Let's say we would add that up to 30, 35, just for an example, eh? And then the cheaper one would go to 15 or 20, and then add another one that's more cheaper, and that one would be 10 kilos. That is, so if I listen to you, it sounds like that could be your suggestion.
Yes, that's a very good suggestion, actually. You could do that, or you could lower the price for the box themselves. That way, people can buy more and to be able to put more items in those. So it can really go two ways. It really depends on the majority's vote of what they would like. You can't really just base it so off like one person's opinion. You have to get the majority.
All right. And do you think that the actual physical size of the container needs to change? Because if it will be able to help more storage, should it then also be bigger so you can put less of them in your hideout?
So aesthetically wise, I could see that, right? That once again, that really falls under a majority vote of what people feel like, because one person could say, hey, I like the normal size of the box, just increase the capacity, and not really go with the realistic aesthetic of the game, right? Like if you increase size of a box, you have to increase the physical size of the box, not just the internal capacity, right? So once again, that really falls under a group vote in the community.
Yeah, okay. That was actually one of the cons, right?
Yes, I have one more con.
Yeah, okay.
I know when we all go into our storage room, right? For those of us that have storage room C open, when you walk into your storage room, you have that wall on your left that has one bag rack. The rest is just empty space.
Yep, yep, totally know what you mean.
More shelves, caveman, more shelves. When you're walking in there, it's like, man, this could be like a shelf for like bags or mannequins you could put there, or just maybe a 2-shelf against the wall. That way you can put like ammo cans, mag boxes, etc. on that rack right there. So definitely add some, fill up the blank space inside the hideout. That way, people can bring in more loot, they can stash it there, and everybody would be happy.
Can I add something to that point from yours? How would it be if that wall stays blank and all the options that you just mentioned are you can purchase one of those, so you can have like your own unique hideout. Not that unique, but that you can choose yourself. I want to have 3 mannequins there, a gun wall, or shelves. And the price will be, let's say, 1 million. And then you can choose one of those.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's what came into mind when you just said that. Like, you just say, like, fill up the wall. And I'm like, how cool would it be if the player can choose himself what to put there?
And see, that's why I like what you're doing right now, because now we're able to, somebody can give an idea, and then you could go ahead and bounce off that idea and say, hey, maybe we should add this into that. It's really good cohesion. And honestly, I really think that's a good idea. Like I said, it's what the majority of the community wants, right? Whether it's like paying money for whatever you'd like in that space, or maybe you have to get certain items for your hideout in order to unlock those certain items, whether it's a mannequin, a shelf, or maybe just a shelf on the wall.
You could go as crazy as literally that. It almost starts to feel like DayZ if you do something like that. If you want to make shelves, you need to complete. You need to farm sheet metal. You need to farm some tire irons or just some metal pipes or whatever, so you can actually create that. Yep. It could be an idea. Like I also think that a lot of these ideas and suggestions that we hear are actually really doable to implement into the game by Caveman Studios. But one thing that I also would like to add is the game is, I'm not exactly sure, but let's say the game is out for 9 or 10 months, something like that. they are doing a really good job already. And they can only grow better, in my opinion. So let's just hope that with everything we're doing right now today as well, that we just give them a bunch of ideas, and that maybe some of these ideas will be used for next wipe, but maybe the thing that we are just talking about right now, that will be added in the 2 wipes away from now, or maybe 3, but at least that they know about it, like the community is talking about it. That is something that we would like to see in the future. It doesn't mean we have to see it in the near future. That's my point of this podcast as well. But then actually going on to the last question for you, Hunter, because you actually add a suggestion to your con. But now back to the main question that we are all curious about. If you were allowed to just do something and it will be implemented directly into next wipe, what would be your number 1 suggestion to the game?
Ammo boxes. Right. So when you go to your ammo loading station, you know how you put your ammo box down and it locks it into place, right?
Yeah.
So for example, the shelf that is to the left of your ammo loader, I use that to store a majority of my ammo boxes, right?
Yeah.
And when I want to go up and switch out a can that I have extra ammo in, I pull it from the rack, and sometimes it pulls other cans with it, and it just makes a huge mess, and it gets really frustrating sometimes, right? So I feel like they should dedicate a shelf, like a spare storage shelf, to be able to lock in your ammo cans, and have it like maybe like 5 or 6 cans on a shelf, right, to be able to fit right there. Because I know when you lock your can on your ammo loader, there's space in between it, right? Kind of minimize that space, but be able to lock the can in there. So when I want to go pick a can out, I'm not pulling like 3 more cans off the shelf and just making a whole mess when I'm trying to load ammo and get quickly back into a raid.
Yeah. I want to add one thing to that, if I think about this right now. And I'm going to do it in a question way. What do you think of the actual amount of ammo that you're allowed to put inside the ammo crate? And then before you answer, have you ever tried stacking up ammo on top of each other until you get the same size of an ammo box?
To the first one, the ammo capacity in the cans are accurate. They're pretty accurate for like an ammo can size, because little background real quick. I'm in the military myself in the U.S. Army, right? So ammo cans store about a couple hundred rounds in a can, right? So that's accurate. So the ammo size or the ammo capacity inside the can shouldn't change. To your answer to your second question, I have not, actually. I've never stacked ammo to the actual size of a can in game, actually. I've never really thought of that.
I've done it one time, and the amount of ammo that you get to is like between 750 and 900. So that's the thing multiple people have done. Like if you put the ammo on top of each other, people are like the ammo box is like literally just 4 walls with a cap on top of it. If you open it, it should literally fit that amount of ammo. You know what I mean? But I was just curious about you. How would you think about it? Like, is it realistic? 300 rounds? Well, you say you're in the military, and that's quite realistic. Like, but let's say it different. Should they maybe add a level 2 ammo crate? So you have a level 1 range and a level 2 range. Level 1 is 300 capacity, and level 2 range is 500. And then they are a little bit bigger as well, like in the physical size. Do you think that that's something that could add something to the hideout? Or do you think it's unnecessary and it's good how it is?
Now, that's something that really bleeds into the storage boxes like we were talking about. Yes, they could easily do that, just like having a suture kit level system, right?
Yeah.
You could have level 1 where the can is not so expensive. It holds 200 rounds. You have level 2 where it holds like 500. You could probably go to level 3 where it holds maybe 1,000. I think 1,000 might be a little much, but they could probably lower the number depending on what they feel, right? So yeah, I think they could definitely implement like a level system for like ammo cans. But it really comes down to the fact of like, if you look at the statistics of players buying these ammo cans, which ammo can are they going to buy the most, right? Are they going to buy the 500? They're going to buy, the level 3, which has like 1,000, or are they going to stick with the level 1, which holds 200 rounds?
All right. I like this one. I like it. Like everything you said. Perfect. Nice stuff, man. And also, yeah, for some reason, I really appreciate it, especially when somebody is in the military and he can like actually tell us that it's actually pretty normal that an ammo crate doesn't hold like that much more ammo. So that's good to hear that you're literally telling me that you guys have ammo crates with a few hundred rounds and nothing more. So yeah, that's a nice add-on information as well. Hey, Hunter, I want to thank you for being in this interview. Yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you in chat, and we'll definitely play some more games in the future. And directly towards chat, people, this interview is for the community of Contractors Exfilzone. So if you play the game or you watch a lot of streamers and you have ideas, join my Discord and we can invite you to this interview and you can have a little chat with me. Please do it, because this video will be sent to Caveman Studios and they could be using it for the next wipe. Hunter, again, thank you so much, and I'll think I have the next guy waiting.
Yes, thank you. Hi, have a good day.
Have a good one. Hello, I think we have Anty here by the picture.
Yes, hello.
Dude, I'm learning pictures now. That's so crazy. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
All right. I want to start off with the first question always. So your name is Anty, and how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. All right. And when did you start playing this game?
About 3 weeks until the last wipe.
Okay, so you played
Well,
last wipe, and you actually got your official start during this wipe.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. What kind of equipment do you use to play the game?
So I have a Quest 2, but I'm cable linked to a PC.
You're cable linked to the PC, so you are actually playing through the PC, and your headset is
Stream into the headset, yeah.
and is streaming to the headset, and your headset is 24/7 charged to the PC, or being
Generally,
charged.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does drain slowly, yeah.
No. Oh, it still drains when you have it connected.
Yeah, because the cable I've got isn't the best.
Okay. And how do you experience playing with your setup? Like, do you crash a lot, or is it all positive? Like, tell me.
Well, with it being PC VR, the only time I crash is generally a server issue. So it's not like I'm getting overloaded. There's no opening a bag that's got too much stuff in and crashing.
Okay, that's good to hear. Good to hear. And since you played the first wipe as well a little bit, how is your experience based on how this wipe is? Like, you've seen it, like the hideout has changed. A lot of things have changed. The new map. And tell me a little bit about it. How did you like that change?
They added a lot of quality of life stuff, I noticed. So, like, last wipe, I only played the last 3 weeks. So, I got about halfway through my bunker. There was no resort map. The resort map has made life a lot easier for a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that much. I'm a big fan of the bank. The bank
Yeah.
has just made life a lot easier. The safe containers, I'm like one of the few people that say they're a good addition to the game.
I like the
because
safe containers as well. I have zero complaints about them.
You've got to think about casual players, people, because a good kit can cost $1 million, and you need someone that can take a long time to get if you keep dying.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm happiest about.
I want to
this
ask
new
you
wipe.
a really serious off-topic of this podcast question. You said
What's
that
that?
you are enjoying the bank. Are you a naked money runner?
Oh, true. I think I founded the Naked Money Run.
You founded it.
I have-
Oh, damn.
I think so. I have about 400 deployments and about 150 extracts.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so you've been getting a
Yeah.
lot of money in your butt crack and dying a lot.
It's what makes me feel good when I lose a kit. I go do some naked bank runs.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
it's
Sorry.
a strategy.
Hmm. But now I'm
'Cause,
really, I'm
that's it.
really curious. Like, you actually do this play style, and a lot of people have opinions about it. But I'm just curious to ask you yourself: do you think that this should be a thing? Should the
No,
bank
if you
be
want
made
it-
harder,
yeah.
or should it stay the same as how it is?
I think you should put some scavs in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Some, because the only time the tunnel is an issue is when boss spawns. So put some just regular scavs in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Make it so that you can't go in complete. Take a Beretta and with AP, and you need to take a gun to kill the scavs at least.
Do you have did you know? And it's not something that Caveman Studios confirmed, but did you know that there is some made up, and I think it fits really well to the game, but that there's like some made up lore to the tunnel?
No, I did not know.
All right.
about
So if you have the map resort, you have worker dorm, right?
yeah,
And then the boss that could spawn in the tunnel, that boss is the brother of the boss in worker dorm. And the guy in worker dorm took over the worker dorm. He enslaved all those scavs. He sent those scavs with his brother to the construction site to dig the tunnel to eventually rob the bank. And that's why the Altin boss is in that tunnel and the police station boss is upstairs to defend the bank. And with that story, people have actually said it is actually weird that there are no scavs in the tunnel. And how cool would it be if like a lot of those scavs were undergeared? So just with a pistol and maybe like a cosmetic pickaxe on their back because they have been digging out that tunnel.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then at the back of that tunnel is the extract, right? The locked extract. And that
Yep.
extract is not
Yep,
being
yep,
used
yep.
at all because there's nothing. There's nothing behind the door but an extraction. So some other guy said, if you want to make that into a lore, behind that extraction door should be like an arsenal. Not too great, but like an arsenal made out of pixels, of course, with just 2 or 3 gun crates that you can loot, because that's like the loadout that they have prepped there to rob the bank. Like, if, in my opinion, if they would add that, literally based on what you said, a few scavs in the tunnel, the arsenal in the locked room, you would have like something that all fits together in the story of the map, if it would actually be the story.
I do have a suggestion to nerf the naked bank runs, which is take away the 100k stacks and change it to 25k stacks.
Yeah.
Because then you're limited on how much you can actually take.
That's a good one. So instead of 1 stack of 100, just change that to 4 25 stacks, so you can put less in your butt.
Exactly. And then
could
you've
be
got
a
to try
really
and
easy
leave
fix.
instead of just shooting yourself.
Yeah, it could be a really easy fix. And then change the and then maybe in the safe that it only has money spawns and that you could be lucky with a 100k stack, but it could mostly have 25k stacks, because then it still feels like a vault, right?
Yeah, or get rid of the safe and change it with a safety deposit box that you need a key for.
Yeah, or just a safe with a key.
Or yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But,
It could make the bank really good. Yeah, I agree on that.
Because it is a bit crazy.
All right. So we are going off topic, but that's just because I have been curious so much about talking to somebody that actually does these kind of runs in the way how you do them. No hate, of course, just full curiosity. Other question. If you can look at this whole wipe, of course, then we have 2 questions. What are the pros and what are the cons? Can you like sum them up for us?
So the pros for me are I can have fun without running into anyone. I can run away from shots. And as someone said earlier, you find a spanner and you're like, oh crap, I need this spanner. And then you run into the exfil with intention of avoiding every shot you hear and like trying to dodge the scavs.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I do enjoy about this game. One of the cons at this point I'm max level, so I can buy all the max gear I want. The Alton helmet, I feel like it's too overpowered. I run into too many Altons. I do think so, because it should, like, to be able to take 4 headshots, which at this point in wipe, I'd say 50% of people can kill an Alton in 4 headshots.
Yeah, but the good ammo is a 1-tap. M993 is a 1-tap. M61 is 2 bullets or a lucky 1-tap. And hybrid is 3 headshots and M995 is 6. But a spray is less than half a second. And if you would compare that to leg meta, is it like too hard to force yourself to go for the legs?
I don't think you should nerf the the protection values. What I think should be nerfed is there should only be one in the raid. People shouldn't. Not everybody should be running around with Altons. You see a trio. I play a lot of solo. You see a trio with 3 Altons. You know there's no chance of you winning that fight, even with a drum mag of like M61.
I've done it. That's.
I mean, I've done it, but so as a solo, I lose 2 out of 3 fights.
Yeah, it's not a guaranteed win, of course. Like normally, if I'm not gonna say that I'm really really good at the game. Like I try my best, but when I see 3 Alton boys, I'm always like, okay, that's a challenge. I would like to take it, but it always feels like it's a 30 to 70% fight. You know, I have a 70% chance of losing and a 30% chance of winning, and that's all based on how they play as a team. Because if they push me together, I know I'm fucked. But if they play 1 by 1, I have a pretty decent chance of still winning.
And if only one of them had an Alton, you'd be in a lot better position, in my opinion. So I just think make the Alton rarer.
Okay. But that's based on pros and cons, of course. Yeah.
That's my con of the game, yeah.
All right.
But thanks for the chat. It was fun.
No, we have one more thing. And maybe you haven't thought about it. Like, a lot of people add some little suggestions as well to the pros and cons. But the last question is, if you would be the developer of this game, and the wipe would be in 2 weeks, just for example, and you forgot something, and you can add without having issues about the money, time, it can be implemented directly tomorrow. What would you suggest that they would add for the next wipe? It could be hideout related, quest related, level related, it can be anything. What would be your number 1 suggestion?
Dog tags.
Dog tags, okay.
A little trophy for killing someone. Yeah. That's what I would like. Some sort of dog tag system. So I know who I killed, what level you were. So I can see I killed a level 45 with a pistol because he was running naked to the bank. Thinking, what the hell are you doing?
And then would you like to see it like a realistic thing as well? So when you killed somebody, that there's actually like a necklace with a dog tag that you can like rip off?
Oh, that would be even cooler, yeah.
Okay.
I'd let. I'm just coming up with the ideas. I'll let them work on the details, but yeah, that would be cool.
That would be a cool ad. No, okay. Well, those were indeed all the questions that I had, and I want to thank you for your time. And we're gonna go on to the next guy.
Okay.
Have a good one, Anty.
Catch you later.
Hey, catch you later, buddy. Who do we have here? I will have to speak now because it's no picture. Sacrificial Goat! I have no microphone yet. I don't hear you.
Hey.
Now we can hear you. I'm doing really good, and it's nice to hear a voice to the name.
Hey, I appreciate it. Sorry I don't have a camera today. Things are a little messy in the apartment, so please forgive.
Doesn't matter. I actually want to know, where are you from again? Because I really love the accent.
Hey, I'm originally from New York, not the city of cow country, New York, way up central, but I've lived a lot of places, lived in the Midwest for a bit. I'm currently in Texas by way of Puerto Rico.
Ooh.
So I've traveled a bit, but yeah, I guess no, you can't say you're a Texan yet. They don't like that.
No, you're not allowed to say that? Okay. Okay.
No, they're pretty sensitive about that. And besides, they have some pretty draconian laws. I'm not really sure I want to identify myself as a Texan anyway. But hey, we're not here to talk politics.
One short question. Do you know a car company called Don Davis in Texas?
No, I'm afraid I don't. Is this affiliated with your work that you do?
Yeah. That's why I was curious. Like, we've gotten cars from a car shop called Don Davis, Texas. Yeah. But I'm not sure if they still exist.
Do you know what city they're based out of?
Sorry?
My apologies.
No.
Do you know what city they're based in?
Not exactly, but I can look it up later. But all right, let's start. We are talking with Sacrificial Goat. How old are you?
I'm 36, man.
36. All right. And how long have you been playing Contractors?
As soon as I realized this game is far better than Tabor. I think I was playing Tabor over winter holiday, and then in January I discovered Contractors and immediately uninstalled Tabor after the first hour of playing this game.
Damn, that was love at first sight. Or love at first trigger.
It is so much a better fleshed out game. It is there's a better sense of sort of progression through it all too. There's more to do in the hideout. it is the next evolution. I feel it truly is a better game. I feel.
All right, it's good to hear. And how long ago was that? Plus minus.
So I think I've been playing since January, but I've been pretty casual since this wipe, mostly just scavving. My schedule hasn't really permitted me to do a lot of investing myself in the game as much as I was pre-wipe. But that's kind of why I've kind of really glommed onto your channel, man. Like, I really appreciate the content you and Ngalfar are creating, and the rest of your team. And so it's been good to just sort of digest that throughout the day, even though I can't play as much. It sort of scratches the itch, if you know.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Like, we try our best. It's all about fun, and we'll see where it all ends on the long term, of course. So you have played a little bit last wipe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you would compare both wipes, how are you faring this wipe compared to the other?
I'm actually doing far better, and I don't know how much of that is just like the loot spawns being pretty regular, or me finding more content that sort of shows and maps out where these places should be. But like, pretty much as soon as I scav into resort, I know what route I'm taking. I know based on what minute and which round of scavs I'm coming in as, like where the best stuff is and what likely isn't picked over yet. And again, thank you for those videos. It's my survivability in raids has gone way up as a result of just watching these tips and tricks videos, man.
Yeah, nice.
This current raid, like, or this current wipe, I'm certainly like, I just broke 10 mil. Like, most of my valuables I never sell, so I'm sure I'm closer to 25. But nice. I'm certainly doing better and playing more tactically now than I did the first down. I used to just like to run and wait until someone shot at me and then take cover and assess from there. But like now, knowing where scavs, like sort of where they're pathing, or even just being more mindful of other players, it's definitely a different experience this wipe.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And if you would like sum up the pros and cons, and starting with the pros, of course. And let's use the American hamburger system, or sandwich system. You tell me some pros, you tell me a few cons, and then you end with another pro to keep it positive. Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pros just all around. This is again, coming from Tabor before. There's kind of not really a comparison here, right? Like, it's just yeah, sure, there's bugs. There's the clipping through, same stuff that everyone else has mentioned so far in the interviews. I have issues with that too, or the random like scav invulnerabilities if they are sitting on a stairwell and you're trying to headshot them and they fucking kill you instead, right? And they seem to eat up a whole mag of bullets. But I have to say that even though the clipping issues or bags falling out, I also kind of just assume that this is just part of the new medium that is VR, right? Like, we wouldn't tolerate these kind of bugs perhaps in a flat screen game or any other sort of version, but as an early adopter to VR, I'm much more lenient perhaps about those sort of issues. So I don't really have any negative things to say about the game. Of course, yes, I also would echo that the cost of storage boxes should be less, or perhaps maybe we could have an increased kiosk storage, or perhaps even the penalty for the nakeds. How many times I've come in and just getting wiped by someone who is camping an area. That's very frustrating. I think maybe the only thing I would suggest is perhaps having more cross. Like, I am a Quest 3 standalone user.
Oh, I forgot to ask. Of course,
game,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's good enough for me. I like it because I like to be able to take it and share it with other people. But I have a desktop, and I could virtual desktop this. But if I did, I would love for the crossplay to be available.
Like that, a VR shooter can actually play against. What?
Pardon now?
You're suggesting crossplay.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Sorry, not crossplay, but being able to Steam VR and still be on the same account as that I am when I am playing.
Yeah, I would love that as well, because that would literally mean that since I'm playing on Steam VR, I am not able to bring my headset to my friend and show him the game because I don't have the game on my headset.
Absolutely. And so like I have nothing in my base right now on the PC VR, but I use OBS, and I'm pretty like I would love to be able to record and share what I do, but that's a minor inconvenience, right? If nothing else, I could have another account in which I play hardcore on, but
you are actually able to share,
that's
you know that, right? That you can
it would be nice.
share, but you are able to, like, you can go on your standalone, link your Meta account with the website of Meta, so your PC mirrors your headset, and then you can record or share that from OBS. And I would say try to figure it out, because you got a radio voice. People would love you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No, and
I also
mean
really
it.
appreciate your voice, and I just got to meet Ngalfar for the first time in chat, and huge shout out to him as well, because the content you all are creating has really been a game changer for me. I know watching your streams and just learning those tips and tricks, even from vaulting ledges, or even the other day when that guy got to the top level of that building in Resort and you all figured it out. Like, no one would ever figure this stuff out unless you made videos about it. So thank you for educating the community and making us all better.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's what we love to do, and Dale, aka Ngalfar, is a really fun guy as well. And now you talk to him now for the first time, so you also have a voice, maybe even a face to the name. I'm not sure if he had his webcam on, but he's a really cool dude.
Hey, the last thing I just want to mention, again, totally not related to the game. Oh, actually, well, I guess two things. First, related to the game. Thank you for making this content. Thank you for making this, doing this community talk day. I would really appreciate if you all continued to make content like this. And if nothing else, is a direct way to give feedback to Caveman. But there's just so much knowledge that you all have, and it's not always communicated quite as easily through the streams.
Yeah,
and certainly
I get
having it in this podcast format would just be quite valuable to a lot of new players. It's a great way to even introduce people to the game. So thank you for doing this, and I hope that this is not the last one that you do.
Wait. Like this is stuff that gets me triggered. In a positive way. So if I would say we would do this like one time a month, and if you look above me, there's nothing above me right now. And we would add a third screen there where we would be able to show clips. And we would actually do one time a month a community talk day, not per se with the current subject that we have now, but that we just talk about the game. Like, how is everybody faring? Are there questions? And then we can refer to a clip, or somebody can come to the chat, share a clip with me, and we can play it off on stream. Something like that.
That would be fucking dope, dude. Oh,
okay.
Sorry, I can't remember if we're allowed to say those things on this chat. My apologies.
You are allowed to say that.
You may have to edit that one out.
You can edit that with a chicken noise or goat fart or whatever you want.
Yeah, man. So I just have to say, though, that like even when you are commentating how you are tactically playing, it is really interesting to hear, because I've never done airsoft. I have done very little paintball, and it's things like that. So when you are talking about how you are using these strategies, it feels like real world knowledge, but it's just fun to be able to apply that and be better in game. And it's just it's really fulfilling. So thank you for sharing all of what you do.
And thank you for not only for your time, because you're not done yet, but I can add to it that a lot of the things that I do in this game are based on previous games, but also on paintball, airsoft, and those kind of days, because you do learn how to use tactical. Thank you, Smorleyyy. You do know how to use a tactical way of approaching specific houses or situations. That's what you learn as well in those kind of games in real life, that you can also use in your game.
Absolutely, man. I find that your channel is a wealth of knowledge. So this is mostly an appreciation sort of like chat here. I don't have a lot of feedback to give to Caveman. Y'all are crushing it there too.
We have one last question.
And last thing. Yeah, go for it.
That is, if you are allowed to change or add one thing into the game when the next wipe hits, what would it be?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Actually,
only one thing, eh?
Only one thing.
Only one thing.
That
makes it hard.
This is really the first extraction shooter I've played aside from Tabor. And I don't know, maybe require less gunpowders and imaging modules for the upgrades. I'm just going to be real about that. This is a bit of a struggle. This is a bit of a grind. But I also appreciate that they have that sort of, I feel very, again, that sort of sense of fulfillment and accomplishment when I do finally unlock something.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's not imbalanced at all, and I'm just haven't been playing enough to really be able to find these things, or I'm not daring enough to go into every airdrop that happens. But no real comments on that. No real changes or suggestions, to be fair.
No, that's good to hear. Anything else you would like to say? Otherwise, I want to give a small announcement as well.
Hell yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for playing some Beat Saber at the end of your games. I look forward. I have learned so many random new troll tunes that I have shared with the office and everyone I know. I have a small contingent of people who are now half horse, half man fans as well. So please don't stop with that. I truly enjoy it. I'm glad that my schedule allows me to see it every day.
Beat Saber is a part of my daily exercise as well, so it's something I would not quit doing. Small announcement in between, guys. We do one more interview, and after that interview we are launching our charity event, and it's not like an event that it lasts for a period of time. It's going to be permanent. We're going to launch a product, and it suits the stream, it suits our banter, it suits all the fun that we always have, but the product is something you guys can buy. And it is something that is going to charity as well. So if you buy the product, a percentage of that goes to charity. After this next interview, I will play, during my break, a video of the charity, the promo video. I will then play a clips video, and then I will play the promo video one more time. And then we will continue with the podcast until there are no more people left in the queue. After the queue is done, we go back to Exfilzone and play some fun games. Yep. Dale, can you bring the next person? I have a slight feeling who it's going to be. Oh, no. It's my boy WOOKfett.
Never.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, you?
I'm doing great. Like, I've heard so many cool things already from a lot of people, and I was really curious about what you were going to say. So, shall we just kick it off immediately? I'll start with my questions.
Let's do it.
First of all, shout out to WOOKfett. WOOKfett is a fellow streamer. I played with him quite a lot of games in the beginning, and we are going to team up again next week as well and play some games. He's a really nice guy. Look him up at Twitch. Give him a follow. He's really fun to watch, trust me. All right, WOOKfett, how old are you?
I am 39 years old.
39 years old, all right. And since when did you start playing Contractors?
Contractors, I started playing about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Maybe 2.5.
But that is based on the Battle Royale, I guess.
No, that would have been the base game. And then when they alphaed the Battle Royale, I tried it. And then they alphaed this, and I was hooked.
All right, so yeah, you have been actually playing from the start.
Yeah, I've been with Caveman for a long time.
All right, that's really nice to hear. What kind of headset do you use? Like, what kind of equipment? What does your setup look like? Like, how do you play the game?
Quest 2, I have Logitech G933s that I use for my sound.
Okay.
And then Quest 2 controllers. I use my WOOKfett, like the Wook stock.
Oh, you have your own gun stock, yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I guess Steam VR.
Yeah, you play through Steam
Wireless.
VR? Wireless, okay.
Yeah, through Steam Link. Meta deleted off my PC.
Smart.
Because it uses too much resource.
Yeah. And how is your experience with the wireless play? Like, I have a feeling that you've done something with your internet, because before it was quite some drama.
Yes.
Enlighten us.
The Prism XR Puppets S1.
Okay.
And then, I use that for my wireless, and I get, like, wired connection. I never crash with this thing, so.
And how was it before? What did you use before? Because before, it wasn't that good.
just wireless off my modem, and yeah, it was like I was just getting too much Wi-Fi interference.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically it.
Since you have played the first wipe and you're now playing the second wipe, just pros. What are the good difference that you see, and then end that with what are the lesser things that you see? Like, are there in my opinion, everything they've done for this wipe is awesome. Like, there are no bad things, and that is compared to the first wipe. Like, the pros and cons is a different thing. I'm literally asking.
Like the cons are the same thing that carry over from the first wipe.
Okay, enlighten us.
So like, just to like make that simple, because like for starters, we got everything last wipe that we're like, this is fucking awesome. Where'd this even come from? Maybe they could do this, this, and this, and this, right?
Mhm.
So and then there's like from missions to things to collect to stuff like that, like just different things. And then they gave us the wipe, and then they gave us pretty much everything that we asked for.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it's like, I feel like the pros of this is the game is continuing to be like a suggestion box, because the cons are things that and we're going to move over to there real quick, because the pros, like that would take too long. Like, it's just really simple. We asked for something last wipe,
Yeah.
they delivered, and now we're here. So with a wipe coming in a couple months, right? It's kind of like, I'm assuming a couple months, don't take my word on it.
Mhm.
But yeah, with that happening, I can only assume that we're going to get more of the suggestions.
Yeah.
So with the cons,
Yeah,
it'd
just
be
just
like,
tell what are
you
your
know,
cons during this wipe? Like, what do you experience? What should like instantly be changed?
the environment. The environment needs to like not have stuff fall through it.
Okay.
Like, on like hills and certain textures, you pretty much know shit is gonna go through it.
Mhm.
It's just where is the question. However, I don't know, like the meshing and the texture of the ground, or like not the texture, but like the terrain, I love. So I don't know how, like, that could just take time, and it could be a quest issue, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
So, but that would be like, honestly, in my opinion, the biggest con. Outside of like, I wish I could take a hat or a toque off of a bot and put it on my head and survive like 5 M80 rounds.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah.
I don't know what that is. So it's you know,
Yeah, I
I
don't.
can't speak down on that. It's just funny to me.
I have the same. I literally have the same problem at that. Doesn't matter what kind of ammo you bring. If it's M993, M61, or it's FMJ, it doesn't matter. You need to shoot the scav 4 times in the torso, for example. It feels like the scav doesn't register the bullet that he is getting hit with has a specific type. It feels like the scav just needs to be shot in his face or multiple times in the body, and then he still has that ricochet chance on his helmet. It doesn't matter what ammo type you use. And yeah, I have my thoughts about that as well. Not per se negative. I can laugh about it as well. It's just scavs, like 9 out of 10 times they're blind as shit. But a different thing that I have noticed is that scavs hit me and it's like you lose 5-6 HP, right? That happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this is a thing, but I have seen it so many times for these past days. When a scav actually blacks out a leg or a stomach with just one bullet, there are always players nearby. It almost feels like that the scavs then get pumped up to fuck you up just because there's a player fight nearby. I don't know why, but it always feels like... try to pay attention to it. When a scav blacks something out, I know that there's a player nearby. I just know. It always happens. It is so weird.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah. But the thing that I'm most curious about, and I know that you've been talking about this a lot on your stream. You talk about it a lot. But if you can only pick your number one suggestion for next wipe, and that could be hideout wise. Just a sec. It could be hideout wise, it could be quest wise, it could be environment wise, doesn't matter. What would be your number one suggestion to add to the game? So we're not talking about fixing something, we're talking about adding something to the game.
Adding.
Yeah, what would you add?
Oh God.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I would go back. I would go back to being like, oh God, what to add to the game? It would have
Is
to
it
be
going to be easier
the
if I
number
say
one
that you're allowed
thing-
to give 2, or is 1 enough?
No. One is enough because it's like, all right, because like I had something in my head and then it just deleted. But it would be like to add to the game. It's so hard because I know that it's like the quest 2. Once they get quest 2 support done, they
Mhm.
can do more with the quest 3. So until then, I just say like keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
If they could add anything to the game, it would be like maybe a game mode,
A game mode.
right? Because
Like?
if we're gonna talk about Showdown, we have Exfil, and then we have the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
The Battle Royale is not doing so hot right now. So what if they just added a mode where they took that whole Battle Royale map and then you went in with like Exfilzone gear
Yeah.
and there was like submissions that you gained XP experience, maybe even armor skins or something like that out of that, because they have all of that in the Showdown, like the Battle Royale coding. So to just maybe add a game mode, because it's kind of fixing Battle Royale in a sense, but not. But and then you go into this like almost like Hunt Showdown mixed with Gray Zone mixed with a fucking Battle Royale, or sorry, mixed with a Battle Royale to kind of like, you go in with all this gear, you got these missions. The biggest point is XP and maybe like a couple of things to bring back to your hideout, right?
Okay.
And then like trophies for the killing those bosses in there, like you would get out of Hunt Showdown. And then you got a exfil somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that would bring more player base back that wanted that battle royale.
Mhm.
Because I know that the battle royale people are suffering.
Yeah, I know that.
I just know that that's a thing.
Okay.
So. But to Exfilzone, it's too many small things that I would rather add that to the equation.
I actually want to ask you to tell us one more thing, because you have given the suggestion once on your stream and I really loved it. Tell me about your crafting idea.
Oh, the crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last wipe, let's go back to last wipe's bunker and anybody that wasn't there for it. There was a shelf that had 3 like baskets up on the top row of the shelf and had 3 baskets on the bottom row of the shelf. Now, maybe perhaps as you unlock things in your hideout, you unlock those baskets to do different things, or the timer on those baskets, where say you add like a chocolate bar and something to that basket, it would create like 2 cans of food, or like the little cat cans of food, or say we got sugar added to the game and we were able to like put sugar and water into one of those things, and then all of a sudden we got like 2 energy drinks or 4 energy drinks or something that pop out of it on a timer, something like that. Like two meat cans makes like 2 ration packs.
Yeah.
You know, and then it just on a timer. Say your coffee filled like pot, when you upgrade that, you turn it on and you can say refill your like orange thing with coffee rather than water.
Now, the thing that I like,
because I think you get more out of the coffee than the
yeah,
water.
the thing that I like about your whole idea is simply the point of making the hideout more interactive as it already is. So if you look at the Tarkov hideout, literally every station you have, you can have an interaction with it. Like the workbench, for example, in the game you can find gunpowder and you can find gun shells. And then if you have shells combined with nails and gunpowder, you make grip ammo. That's something you can do at the workbench. I've heard you say something in the past that we have a planetary. How cool would it be if you can like harvest those leaves, extract something from those, and add those to your mats to give your mats a boost, something like that. But just to like make the hideout and everything more interactive.
Yeah, like on that note, like we have that med stand, right? And that's where like they added the med stand. So now I'm just curious what they do with it because there's no storage there. But say we were able to take like our military syringe and the one that's just smaller than that and put that on that, and it replenished on a timer to where you have your plants.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe if you're not harvesting the plants, at least they're doing something more than
Yeah.
just like the reload speed and stuff. But then we'd be talking about changing the reload speed and stuff to something that you talked about with like experience points somewhere else. Like in Tarkov, you get experience on how fast you open stuff by opening stuff. And
Yeah. The Tarkov has a full ability system. Simple thing is you have your trader levels that you gain by questing. But you also have a charisma level, and your charisma level is based on the amount of stuff that you bought and sold. And the higher your charisma level is, and it's not something that goes fast, like the maximum discount you can get is like 10%. The higher your charisma is, the more discount you get, up to a max of 10%. There are 51 levels, and you really need to sell millions until you get that level 51 that gives you that 10% charisma discount. They also have endurance and strength. Endurance gives you like the ability to run longer, but you need to run to level it up. Strength is the actual speed of sprinting and the height of your jumping, and that changes by melee attacking people, walking around while being overweight, and throwing grenades. So like they I know they have like and you have a gym as well. Like in the hideout, you can do the weightlifting to train your strength and endurance as well. You can do that one time every 24 or 48 hours, something like that. But yeah, that's something that I really liked you say, and it literally just gave me one thing, and that was like hideout interaction. Like create more interaction in the hideout. Like that's literally how it felt when you explained me that crafting system, and I was straight up thinking about Tarkov because Tarkov has everything based on that.
And the hideout comes down to like a whole other thing of like it would be like adding, changing, and my idea on the hideout, if we're just going to talk about the hideout, I'm stealing time here, sorry.
No. Actually, in 4 minutes, just to interrupt you for a sec, in 4 minutes, the charity event goes live. So if we can fill up those 4 minutes, perfect, because then we can switch to the charity event. The charity event is about 8 minutes, and then we're going to continue with the podcast with new people that are waiting in queue. Yeah, so you have 3 minutes left, so go ahead.
so if we do like a thing, or if they did a thing where like the hideout turned into the base game hideout, and for anybody that played the base game, it's like 3 levels, I think. There's like a bar downstairs, which they could turn into the kitchen. There's like an armory setup. There's TVs on the wall on the top floor, which could be like your intel and stuff. So you'd be moving between the floors.
Yeah, okay.
And then I feel like with that, they could add more to the hideout that's interactive without breaking everything in the hideout, because it would spread it out. And I feel like that's why they did the hideout this time more spread out, is because there's so much lagging in the hideout last fight.
I totally agree.
Now, when you're in there, you'd have a lot of interactive stuff, because like the things you talked about, like add this, that, the other thing, and they already have interactive stuff there where you could go shoot targets down for SMG challenge, rifle challenge, sniper rifle challenge, pistol challenges, and then there's like pop-ups that come up all around the building you can shoot. You can hit buttons and get rushed by like zombies or just AI. So I feel like that would be a great hideout to have, because you got things inside the hideout to waste time if you're waiting on people. and then if we were able to invite people to our hideout somehow,
Like have a
where
party in the
you go
hideout.
through-
Yeah, but they are not allowed to take stuff
Yeah.
from it, but they can visit it and check out your hideout. That's what you mean.
even hear me out on this one, right?
Mhm.
Even if you loaded into their hideout, and then if they gave you your gear back and you
Oh. Yeah.
you load back into your hideout with all your stuff, and then or you just start game from right there. It would kind of be like
Yeah, but
the
that's a good thing. But
preloading
that's the hideout owner giving stuff to the other guy. But that's different than the invited person can interact in the hideout. That is something they should not add. And I think
Yeah.
it's really hard to add as well. But if you just hand him over a
yeah,
backpack,
so it's almost
that
like,
should work. Yeah.
the invited person can drop stuff in the hideout, but they can't interact.
Or
with
you
the
have a trade
hideout.
box. You just have a trade box in your hideout. Everything you put in the trade box, everybody has access to.
Yeah, and then when you have like, say you have your team come in there, the armory is like is locked and all that kind of
Yeah.
shit. It would be the preloading screens to whatever. So if you played bomb in the original game, the bomb mode, there's like a basketball court that
Yeah.
you hang out at. So it'd be kind of like taking that but incorporating it in the hideout. And everything would end up being caged off, and the only thing that would be open is that trade bin.
I really
It'd
like
be
that
like, oh,
one.
here's all your stuff.
I
right?
really like that one.
But that's like a whole different thing in itself, and I don't know how much time, money, and energy would go into doing that. So that's
I think a lot of people
that's,
would
like,
love
in the
it, but I
suggestion
think it's a lot of
put
work.
it like that,
Yeah.
yeah, like put it in the suggestion box and see if it sticks.
Yeah,
you know?
true. Well, I will use this whole interview book. I use everyone's interview for the video, and we note everything down on a big document. We send all of that to Caveman Studios. I also have a lot of people that send me their suggestions in a DM. I will also read all of those out loud at the end of the podcast because not everybody is able to attend. But Wook, for now, I really want to thank you for your time and your voice. What we are going to do now is that I'm going to take a little break, but I am...
Hello.
Hey, Natsu. But I am going to show you guys a promo video of the charity event that just went live 1 minute ago. We started a really interesting charity. I will talk more about it after the video. What is going to happen right now? We are going to see a break screen with the promo video of the charity. Then we just play 2.5 minutes of contractors clips. Then we play the promo one more time. Then we come back to this screen. I will talk a little bit more about the charity, and then we continue the interviews. So guys, I'll be back in a sec, and I hope you enjoy the video. It is really suiting to this stream, and I hope you guys like it. And if you guys are willing to invest in the new product, big thumbs up, and if you can't, it's not a problem either, but I would really appreciate it. See you guys in a bit. Yo, dude, what's up with the outfit? Did you get lost on your way to the sauna or something? This is an Exfilzone, not a nudist camp.
Less gear. More skill. Armor is for noobs, man. Look at these bumps. You with your flashy Twitch fit and the boss hair? The fuck, dude?
Oh, skill, he says. Dude, you're one bullet away from a respawn screen. Get real and get on some plates, man.
Talk doesn't fill max, streamer boy. Focus on your chat instead of me.
Alright, man. You asked for it. This is your last warning. Gear up or eat lat.
Bring it then, content creator.
Just a little pro tip. Take some protection to prevent a nasty early extraction. Talking about protection, we are starting with a charity. I am talking about the HideOut condoms. We have launched a new condom line. It's all about safe sex and raising awareness. Because just like you shouldn't run around the Exfilzone without a vest, you gotta be prepared in real life too. For every pack of 12 HideOut condoms, we will donate 10% to the AIDS Health Federation to help fight AIDS, STDs, and more. So everybody, chat, subscribers, support the movement, protect yourself at all times, protect your partner, and help a good cause while you're at it. Keep it safe and keep it real. So funny. Alright, so we got a few bobbleheads fall. Lift it. What? Yeah, he's there. He's there. Stop him there. Play this. And that's a burger. One that. One more. Set it. Hold that. I just killed your friends and you're peeking me from the window. Are you gonna kill me? I want you to kill me, but I'm gonna spray you in the face and now you're dead. Yeah, you hear me walking, I'm literally walking next to you. On them. On that. Three juices again. Yo, dude, what's up with the outfit? Did you get lost on your way to the sauna or something? This is an Exfilzone, not a nudist camp.
Less gear. More skill. Armor is for noobs, man. Look at these bumps. You with your flashy Twitch fit and your... the boss here? What the fuck, dude?
Oh, skill, he says. Dude, you're one bullet away from a respawn screen. Get real and get on some plates, man.
Talk doesn't fill max, streamer boy. Focus on your chat instead of me.
Alright, man. You asked for it. This is your last warning. Gear up or eat lat.
Bring it then, content creator.
Just a little pro tip. Take some protection to prevent a nasty early extraction. Talking about protection, we are starting with a charity. I am talking about the HideOut condoms. we have launched a new condom line. It's all about safe sex and raising awareness. Because just like you shouldn't run around the Exfilzone without a vest, you gotta be prepared in real life too. For every pack of 12 HideOut condoms, we will donate 10% to the AIDS Health Federation to help fight AIDS, STDs, and more. So everybody, chat, subscribers, support the movement, protect yourself at all times, protect your partner, and help a good cause while you're at it. Keep it safe and keep it real. So, we are back. How did everybody like that video? I love this so much. This is hilarious. Just the image of a dude in a VR headset promoting branded condoms is hilarious to me, and also doing it for a good cause is great. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Like, the whole idea came when we were killing nakeds all the time, right? Like, they were not protecting themselves and all that kind of shit. We actually had nakeds talking shit to us because they were not protecting themselves. Yada, yada, yada. And like the banter that we always had, it just felt really suiting to do something like that, you know? So we are now an official partner with Design Condoms, and for every purchase you guys do there, 10% of that will go to the AHF Foundation, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, to help the people in need that are suffering from HIV, AIDS, or STDs. That's the whole idea behind it. Let's. I think we have more people in queue as well. For everybody that doesn't know yet, if you just joined the stream, we are doing a podcast where we are talking about contractors. And I would like to know how your wipe is faring. I would like to know if you have any positive things to mention. I would like to know if you have any negative things to mention, like feedback. And we have the top question, and that is, what is the number one suggestion you have Caveman Studios should add to the game on the next wipe? Every information that we gather here will be shared with Caveman Studios, and we will make a YouTube video about it as well, and we will share that on YouTube and with Caveman Studios. If you want to participate into these interviews, all you have to do is join the Discord by typing !Discord. There will be a waiting room ready that you can join. There will be moderators and other people in there as well. They will give you a short explanation on how everything goes and how everything works. You can access Discord through your computer, through your headset, or even your mobile phone if you're not close to your computer. The interview takes up between 5 and 10 minutes. It can take a little bit longer. It's all about the banter that we're having. But if you want your voice to be heard, please take advantage of this moment, because I have my direct contacts with Caveman Studios, and I will put every suggestion there. Ngalfar, can you send our next candidate? I see the picture. This is Charles. Hey, Charlie.
Good. Hey,
Hey, man.
how's it going, bro? You all right?
I'm doing awesome, man. Like, I'm having a great stream already. So many people with so many ideas. We've launched our charity event. I'm so fucking happy.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, mate. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just chilling out, getting ready to go back to work on Monday. So
Okay. Well, then we'll try to get all the questions. Like, how much time do you have?
as much time as you need, mate. It's only 8 o'clock, so.
Oh, okay. So let's start off with the main questions that we always ask. And the first question is, how old are you?
I am 29 years old.
29 years old. And what kind of equipment do you use to play the game?
I use Quest 3 PC VR.
All right. And how is that faring for you? Like game-wise, bug-wise, crash-wise?
I haven't really crashed at all this wipe. I haven't played as much as I have the other wipes, but I've had a good few hours put into the game this wipe. Like I said, nowhere near as many. I haven't really crashed a lot. I can't recall much crashing this wipe at all. I haven't really run into many bugs, you know, other than obviously the thing what everybody else is running into. But you know, other than that, mate, the game's running sweet. I mean, I even did a similarity test between Exfil and the other game, like the other day, and it's just Exfil is just on top, like constantly.
You're talking about Tabor? Okay.
Yeah. So because I'm very seasoned like Tabor player, like that's where I got my community from my streams, and I met a lot of people like Wook, everybody else, etc. in like the streaming community, you know, and I played that for like 9 of 2,000 hours I have on that game, and then obviously Exfil come out and we went straight to that, like no questions about it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just all on top, mate. It's just better in every single way or form. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on the other game, but Exfil is just better.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's always good to hear, right?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. When did you start playing Exfilzone? Like straight off the bat, or?
As soon, I think it was a day after it got like you had to apply to play it, or you had to get the beta, basically.
Okay, so you've actually been here from the start of Exfilzone.
Yeah, pretty much from the start. Yeah, I played every wipe.
Yeah. If you would compare first to second wipe, what are like the 3 main things that you like most?
Well, obviously the first wipe was just like it's a fresh game, you know, like fresh gameplay, fresh PvP, new guns, everything else. And then the second wipe, obviously, I'm pretty sure they changed the bunker on the second wipe. Like we got a new bunker. Yeah, we got a new bunker on the second wipe, and then yeah, it's just rolled from there. It's like they're not doing anything wrong, really. I mean, obviously you get the complainers, but like me, Wook, like we are seasoned VR players, you know, so like, and they aren't doing anything wrong like whatsoever for the game. I'm just enjoying I've enjoyed all it's 4 wipes pretty much, but I know the first wipe was really short, but 4 wipes pretty much I've really enjoyed. You know, from the beta to the first proper wipe second, and now this one, it's a good game. I can see myself playing it for years to come.
Yeah, same, totally. All right, so if you just look at this wipe, what are the pros and what are the cons in your opinion?
Pros are obviously, well, the first pro was the new bunker we got. Like, yeah, I like it a lot. The second pro, it's a lot harder to upgrade the bunker this wipe. It's not as easy to get everything.
And you like the fact that it's harder?
Oh yeah, I prefer the Grand, man. The Grand is way better than just being able, we'll just get a few items and then we can upgrade that. It's like, no, more money, more items. Like, the items are somewhat harder to find now that they like swap the loot rooms around, because obviously you had like places like in Dam, say for instance, like the Giga room under there, you could always find like high tier loot and then they swap that around. You know? But yeah, the loot got obviously with the static loot that they've just brought in this wipe as well. So obviously one raid it can be there and then the next raid it can't be. You know? Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, man. So and the cons of this wipe, the butt packs. I really don't like the butt pouches.
What do you mean? The what pouches?
The secure containers.
Yeah? Oh, you don't like them?
No, I don't, mate. I don't like the idea that people can just run straight into the raid and grab stuff and hide it and then kill themselves or be killed and then they have it. You know, I don't like that. There needs to be some type of... I don't know how they'd be able to do it. Like, I can't explain it, but there needs maybe some type of cooldown to where you can access your butt pack, or like, I don't know. Like, they need to do something about naked players being able to run in and grab loot and then kill themselves or die. And being able to collect that loot.
We have had somebody here that came with the suggestion tagged and cursed. Have you heard about that before? It's from Tarkov.
I have not, no.
All right, Tarkov means that if you go in naked, every scav will know you. Every scav will shoot on sight. They will not give the shout or the verbal warning, and they will actually hunt. They will not stop until you're killed. Even if you gear up after that, you are tagged and cursed for that full raid.
So I get that. That could be hard, obviously, for him to add into the game, but something along them lines, mate, where, or even like, I don't know. Well, yeah, that exactly. Or they'd just be like, Tax and care. Like I said, I don't really know what they could do to combat it, but that's like the only feasible thing that I've heard. To be fair, like you get tagged, so maybe maybe get marked on the map like a red blip for a second if you're naked. You know what I mean? Tagged and cursed. You know, like so the bots know where you are, and then players know where you spawn if you come in like completely naked. Or like I know for a fact Ragersec has like how much his kit's worth on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you could do something like that, so if your kit's worth under a certain amount of values, you're tagged and cursed.
Yeah, something like that. Could be.
Obviously, the value could change for every map.
Yeah, it's simply a suggestion, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And that's actually how we end this interview, and that's with the last question. And the last question is, if you would be the developer of the game and nothing is an issue, and you can just straight up add one thing to the game for next wipe, and then we're actually talking about adding something. So we're not talking about fixing something. We are talking about adding something. So that could be hideout related, could be experience related, gameplay, environment, map, or whatsoever. What would that one thing be for you?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe a headset like in Tarkov where it knows like the ambient sounds and you hear footsteps better.
So yeah. You mean the tactical headsets that they use to enhance the footstep sounds and reduces like weather-ish, like environment sounds around you?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So that would be pretty cool if they could add that like tactical hearing. Yeah, that would be sick.
Oh, I haven't heard that one before, but it's a cool suggestion. Yeah, I really like that one. Anything else that you would like to say? Because otherwise this interview is over and we go on to the next person.
I'd just like to say, hey, I'm glad you're doing so well on your streams, mate, and I wish you all the best of luck in future streaming on YouTube, bro.
Thank you so much, Charlie, and we'll team up soon as well.
Yes, you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be watching.
Have a good one, man. See you later.
You too, mate.
Hey,
see you
later. All right, let's see. Who is coming next? You can send over the next person, Dale.
Hello.
Oh, that's Prix. Hey, Karma.
It's me. Hey, how you doing? You all right?
I'm doing good. It's for some reason this is more exhausting than actually playing the game, but I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
You're engaging with people.
Yeah, it's still interactive, like being interactive with your wrist, but this is so much more. It's more talking. Like I noticed that I need to drink more as well, but it's all going fine. Yeah. So like everybody, this guy is Prix. He's one of the moderators of the stream as well. Prix, tell us real quick, how old are you?
I am 28.
28 years old.
I feel about 50.
Feel about 50. And how long have you been playing the game?
So I've been playing on and off since it first released. I actually got a code from VR Central, just to give him that plug. And played on and off, but started taking it more seriously since about 2 or 3 weeks before last wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. And what kind of gear do you use? Like what kind of equipment do you have to play the game?
So I'm going to be a pain and be awkward. So I've got a Quest 3, but I play connected to the PC via Steam. And virtual desktop, but I've also own it standalone as well, so I kind of switch between the two.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pause you for 1 second. Dale, I'm not sure if it's possible. Can you maybe ask if he can join the interview? I'm not sure if he's online. Just send him a message. Okay. You play both wipes, so I'm actually kind of curious. Like, what are your opinions about this wipe compared to the last?
This wipe, there definitely seems like, the game's definitely more popular. I think, as a whole, Caveman Studios are absolutely killing it. There's the other game, which has been mentioned quite a lot of times tonight. I actually started off trying to play that game, and I stopped because I just didn't like it. It was too dark, it didn't feel polished. The gameplay was kind of boring as well, as where with Showdown, it's so addictive.
Yeah.
Even when you're not on it, you're still thinking about it, or you're in a higher stream watching it be played, and that makes you want to jump on and play it as well.
It's the same for me. Like, I already play the game a lot, but when I have some spare time, I always have like on lurk mode a streamer in the background to just watch a little bit of the game. I always like watching people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice seeing how other people experience the game as well, and what they're doing different. Like I think I've said before in the stream, like I've learned a lot of stuff from your streams and being in your streams. For some reason, it improved my aim.
Yeah, funny, huh?
Yeah, it's weird.
Can you give us some pros and cons on this wipe? Like, yeah.
Pros, I think the stuff that they've done to the hideout, like this hideout compared to the last one, is 10 times better. Obviously, I know there's been some suggestions about storage. There's definitely, it feels like a lot more storage, and it's a lot. I'm quite a neat person. My base is insane. There's a lot of ways for you to keep it clean. Obviously the upgrading as well, like everything that you upgrade now has got its own unique reason for you to want to upgrade it as well. Another thing, like, yes, there's still a lot of bugs. I know guns going through like floors and walls and just pinging off has been mentioned a lot. Like that is things that, yes, shouldn't be happening by now. I understand it's an alpha game, so that's sort of like a con. I do know that they're always trying to address these issues as well, so it's not like they're ignoring it. They do listen to the community very well. Quests as well, like the quests are fun, but once again, that comes with a bit of a pro and a con as well. Like I think in ways a lot of the quests are very samey. I don't think they get challenging at all. Like I'm near end game now, and I can't really think of anything that I've done quest wise which has made me go, oh wow, that was really cool. So once again, it's a pro and a con. I think there could be other ways, other things to be done within a quest. Like it'd be cool, for instance, to like actually meet up with a trader, for instance, and within the same raid, like you get an item off a trader and then you have to take it somewhere, and you know, maybe there's like I don't know, there's like an ambush that's specific to you because you're doing the quest.
You're talking about like more quest interaction.
Yeah. Rather than just like take this item and go and drop it off here in this cardboard box, like, you know, or kill 10 scavs, you know. I think it's good for like the not so good players that there's a lot of the quests where it's like, you know, kill 10 players with this gun. I do think it's good, but obviously the people that are good at the game, like, you know, they get through that in one raid, and then they move on to the next. Like maybe trying to like mix up the quest line a little bit. I think it can become very samey.
I get that. All right. And what would be your number one suggestion if you were able to add something to the next wipe?
I've got a couple, actually. I just mentioned whilst I was in the waiting room. I think it'd be really cool, like, you know, Caveman Studios, for instance, are already tracking a lot of your stats. We see them on the board. We know that they're tracking them. I think it would be good, some way to change the matchmaking. Like me and Smorleyyy were just saying, whether it's like, you know, you track based on your stats, or up until you're level 10, you're guaranteed to not go against people that are higher levels than level 10, just to give especially new players coming into the game, like, it's not fun as a new player. I actually had a friend that started playing the game and he stopped playing because obviously everyone at this point in the wipe is very decked out, like, you know, and he was coming in and being obliterated straight away, and I was trying to say, you know, it's a fun game, keep at it, but he was like, no, I can't be asked.
Can I give a small response to this suggestion? I don't know exactly how big the player base is, but aren't you afraid that that would affect queue times and getting full lobbies, especially if you would join the wipe late and your level 1 to level 10 rates are not being filled up and you will be in an endless queue?
Well, no. I think personally, and you know, people may argue this, I think waiting the extra queue time to know that you're not going up against somebody that is so fully decked out is well worth it. It allows you to get those starter quests done as well. So maybe rather than a level, like, you know, the level is adjustable, you could make it so it's level 5. If you're coming late into the wave, like, if you're coming in late to the wipe, like, why not make it where that's fine, then you queue, but then there's a backup in terms of after 10 minutes, that's fine. We're going to have to put it between level 0 and level 20, you know, and make it that way so that it is scalable.
Or that
based on population.
the minimum people required of the raid are less. So let's say you need 12 people for a raid, but the level 0 to 5 raids in a later stage of the wipe can also start when there are just 4 people in.
Yeah, I think as a new player coming into the game, when you're that low level as well, like you're not going to be killing people that are decked out. You're in there to get your quest on so that you can get leveled up. Like at that start of the game, like, you know, loot doesn't matter. You just want to get your quest on. You just want to get your traders unlocked. You want to be able to buy this stuff yourself. You're not looking out for gear as such. And even then, if they killed a geared person, they're new to the game or they're new to the wipe, they're probably going to die later on anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. I actually really like that one. And you had more, you said?
Yeah, I'd like to, I think it's been mentioned already, I'd like to see some sort of scav rep or the way that scav runs are done to be reworked slightly.
Hasn't been set yet. Scav reputation
Okay.
hasn't been set. So give us an explanation about what is scav reputation.
So scav reputation is obviously based on how often you kill scavs as a scav. Tarkov has it. I completely get it, and I actually spoke to Lan about this myself. And I get it's always the risk when you're in a raid, but it's nice. Like for instance, like at the moment, dying on a scav still affects your KD as a contractor, and it's already difficult enough, especially if you do care about your KD. Going up against that, you're already at a disadvantage because you've got worse off gear compared to a contractor. So I think it's kind of knowing like scavs should be able to work together to kill other contractors, for instance. People, unfortunately, especially this wipe, have gone to the stage where they're going through very toxic ways to get that kill, like pretending to pass you something or, you know, making it out like they're friendly so that they can just kill you at extract. And I get it's part of the game, like 100%. Caveman Studios cannot stop that kind of toxic play.
No
matter how much they try, they can't stop it.
No, they can't.
But I do think there should be repercussions for that. And I know already once you kill somebody, it does trigger the scavs to kill you. But when people are going through ways to kill you at extract, like they're going to get out anyway. And it's one of those where it puts a lot of people off the game as well. I always see in the contractors Discord itself, it's always mentioned. It's been in their top voted suggestions for months.
Yeah.
And I do think it's about time that something like that gets added.
Really nice. I need to respond real quick to chat. PlumberKarl, if you want to get into this, it's free for everybody. ! Discord. You can join a wait room. And if you want to hop into this interview, you can get into the waiting queue. And once it's your turn, I will ask you some questions. And you can share your thoughts with me. And everything you say will be used, not against you, but towards Caveman Studios as one big suggestion from the contractors community. So if you're interested, hop into my Discord and jump into the waiting room. Was that your last suggestion, or did you have another one, Prix?
The only other thing that I'd like to add is I think as well, like we see it in, you know, the chat itself, and obviously it's always happening in contractors Discord. Like, let's face it, the chances of somebody, like I know you try and talk to people in the game, but the chances of somebody like not killing you as a contractor compared to not killing you as a scav, it's a good way for people to meet other people within the game.
Yeah.
Whilst they're on a scav, because it's not your loot until you get out with it. It's a great way for people to engage with each other as well. So I think that's the other thing as well. Like if people weren't killing scavs as scavs, like maybe they'll start communicating with them and make friends to play the actual contractor runs with.
The whole thing that you said about a quest being interactive with an ambush, you could actually get scav ambushes then. If scavs would actually be friendly with each other and they have to work together, there could be moments in a raid where just like 4 scav players just hunt you down, and it just gives a really good vibe to the game, in my opinion.
Like imagine as well, you know, and don't get me wrong, I think at the moment, like Cavemans don't need to add any more content into the game. I think they need to focus on bugs rather than new content. There's enough content in the game, but for future, like imagine adding a quest line for scavs where when they can combat the issue of people running in naked and filling their bags and getting out, like, you know, you have a scav quest where you get like a marker on your map and you need to go here and try and stop this person. Like, because, you know, they've got negative scav rep or something like that, you know. Like, there's so many different ways that you could go about it to really make the game engaging. And obviously, if you kill like a scav that's got bad scav rep, like further on down the line, like that should be, you should almost become like marked in the game on the map. So then other scavs know this guy frequently kills people, get him, and then if you get him, you get a reward for it. Or you can just go and carry on and do your raid.
Yeah. Totally get what you mean. Yeah. It could be nice. Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't want it to seem like I'm flaming them. Like, they are doing an absolutely amazing job with the game. Like, they need to keep up what they're doing, and get those bugs fixed.
No, but I think you just give positive feedback. It's not a negative thing. That the things that you're saying are not negative. You're mostly being positive, and you just give feedback. Like, you're actually the first guy that says, they don't need to add anything to the game. They just need to fix a few things because there's content enough. And that's, in my opinion, a pretty huge compliment, because most people forget about the bugs and they just want to have more, you know, like,
yeah,
it's different. It's a different take that you just took there.
We've seen it in other games as well, like Rainbow Six Siege. They're on their new Siege X now. They had a season where they dedicated it to fixing bugs. Many years ago, you know, it's like maybe even every now and then it's just, we're not going to push any new content, we're going to fix bugs, and that's what we like promised to you that we're going to do. Quality of life updates.
Yeah, Tarkov has done that one time as well, and that was one of the best wipes I've played.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because with new stuff always comes new problems. It's true. Yeah. And if you keep
if not,
pushing
you end up with a massive backlog.
Yeah, and if you keep pushing in new stuff and you don't fix the bugs, and you are fixing bugs, but let's say you push in new stuff, you get $50 and you fix 30, and then you push in new stuff again, you get another $50, and now you have 80 to fix, but you only have the capacity to fix 30. So then on the third wipe, you have $100 to fix, while you can only fix 30. So it piles up, and that's what I see a lot in the game Tarkov as well. In the past years that I have played the game, like, I don't know anything about the current state of Escape from Tarkov right now, but that's how I experienced the game over the, let's say, 8 to 10 years that I played it.
Yeah, and I was obviously a Tarkov fan as well, and they did a great job with managing their bugs as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, then I want to thank you for your time.
You're more than welcome. I'm here all day.
No problem. And
right, catch you later.
Catch you later, buddy.
Catch you later, man. Bye.
All right, we're gonna get the next. I don't recognize this picture. Who is this? I only see the letter P. He's still muted.
Oh, apologize for that. I thought I unmuted.
Don't matter. What is your name?
My name is PlumberKarl.
PlumberKarl.
Nice to meet ya.
Hey, man. How you doing?
It's about time. Good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, how you liking the stream so far? I'm not sure when you hopped in, if you were lurking already or just hopped in. I don't know.
Honestly, I just hopped in that last interview. I was looking to watch some Exfil while I'm chilling here, and I saw that you were doing some podcasts, so I tuned in.
Yeah, it's actually a community talk where people can like share their thoughts, positive things, negative things, and at the end we're gonna make a big video out of that, post that on YouTube, and at the same time we're gonna gather all the data, put that in one big, let's say, a Word document or whatsoever, and all of that together will be sent to Caveman Studios so they can look into that, because that's the actual feedback of the community and not just the three big streamers, right? Like, I hope that they will not do stuff that other games have done before, that they only listen to the streamers and not to the community. So I was thinking about, let's do a community talk or podcast where the community can try to let their voices be heard for Caveman Studios.
that's that's really good. I think it's good for the game and helps out the progression of the game, hopefully.
I hope so as well. So I would like to start off with a few basic questions. And the first question is, so your name is PlumberKarl. How old are you?
I am 35, actually.
35 years old. And what kind of equipment do you use to play the game?
So I use a Quest 3 PC VR through Steam.
Wireless or wired?
Yeah. Wireless. I use
Wireless.
virtual desktop and I use a gun stock as well.
Oh, and a gun stock as well. Oh, okay, cool. And when did you started playing Contractors?
I started playing, well, a little backstory. I started playing VR roughly about a year ago now. And so I played Contractors. I played Tabor first until December's drop of Exfilzone.
Okay, and what made you switch to Exfilzone, if I may ask? And we don't want to put Tabor in a negative light,
No,
but
you're good.
is there what was for you like the main reason to hop over to Contractors?
It's a simple reason. I'm just a gamer at heart, and I want to play almost everything.
Okay.
Extraction shooters are my favorite. I come from Tarkov. I got like 3,000 hours in Tarkov. So it's actually, Tabor is what made me get into VR. So kudos to Tabor. It's an impressive game. And then Exfil was coming out with an extraction shooter, and I just hopped on it to try it out. And here we are.
Do you still hop back to Tabor, or is Tabor like forgotten after you started Contractors?
I got.
Plumber?
Well, that's the. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You went a little bit robot on me there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So to repeat the question.
Well, that's
Oh, you heard it. Okay.
I heard it.
Yeah.
So do I go back to Tabor or am I just Exfil? So yes, I have gone back to Tabor a couple times, only for like an hour or two. It's what I like to call the Exfilzone effect, where it just put a mirror up to allow us to see what kind of game we were playing before. It allowed to, judge the two games and allow to see the difference. And Exfilzone is just 10 times better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I didn't know
an
what I was
opinion is
playing
allowed to
before
be
until
shared. So yeah,
Exfilzone came out.
yeah, opinions are there to be
For
shared.
sure.
So that's not a bad thing to say. But okay, that gives us a little bit of an image on how long you've been playing and where you come from. So you have played both the wipes as well. So the first question that I would like to ask is like, what are, in your opinion, the most unique and the best changes they have done from wipe 1 to the wipe that we are in currently now?
Okay, sure. That's a good question. Let me just preface this first. Like, the first thing that blew me away about this game entirely was quality of life. Like, I think anybody who played this game that came from Tabor or even just started playing it just got a lot of the wow factor moments, like reloading your magazines, backpacks, helmets on the side of backpacks, all that stuff. So super, super good that way. And that's what kept me playing this game. To answer your question about the big thing that they added between... I mean, there's some big, in my mind, controversy, but what I really liked, obviously, is the new map. The new map is really nice. It's like this city type map, going in buildings. I mean, to me, that was like, that's content that I want. I think guns are fun, but if I can't use a gun in a cool environment, what's a gun, So I think more maps is good. So I really like that they added that, and also the hideout as well. I think the hideout upgrade was really cool. The different rooms,
It really felt like a new
layout,
thing,
everything
a new
about it.
home.
Yeah, and I was okay with the old hideout. It was kind of like an old dog, new trick kind of thing. Like, I was just like, man, I kind of like the old hideout, but the more you got playing, it's just like, no, I kind of like the layout. I definitely miss storage in the old hideout, but I think regardless of that, I think there's some room to improve the hideout, and we could talk about that in a bit, but anyways, go on.
So the next question that we ask everybody is to give us a few pros and a few cons on the wipe and the current state of the game.
Sure. So pros for me, like I said, quality of life is huge. I think it's so good. And I think they need to lean into that even more. I thought, whoever was in charge of quality of life deserves a raise in this game. And I think if you just really want to separate yourself from the other game other games, I'll say, is just lean into that quality of life, make it just fluent and less janky, and people are just going to keep showing up. So I love that. Let's see some other pros. I mean, they're doing a good job. There's not really off the top of my head. I mean, other than the missions, I love the mission system in this game compared to others. They're more Tarkov related.
Yeah.
Sure, they can get a little bit more complex, but they're pretty complex in the way they are. Like without using YouTube or a task guide, #PlumberKarl task guide. I created a friggin' task guide for this game to help people through it. I spent a lot of hours on it, and it's been extremely helpful for people. But I love it. Like I just love progression. I love tasks. I mean, some people play it for PvP, which is totally awesome. But I want to get into a raid. I want to create a story. And by creating a story is hearing gunshots, having to go over there to do something, maybe making a play on those gunshots, but having to get my tasks done. So I love missions. I think missions are crucial in an extraction shooter. Once you get all your missions done, I mean, some of us already know being level 50, and I've been level 50 twice this wipe, or I'm almost level 50 this wipe. I mean, you don't got much to do after. Like, what, you're just going to make money and hunt Timmies down? Like, I feel bad for the Timmies because that's all we do. We just hunt them down and kill everybody.
Yeah.
But, so I really like that. Those are kind of like my pros, I would say.
All right, now with the feedback.
Okay, this one's a bit of a hot take because I'm very passionate about this game and I'm also very critical about the game. I mean, whoever watches my stream already knows it's a hot take, but I'm not a big fan of the secure containers. I think it's...
You're not the first to say it today. No.
Oh, really?
No, you're not the first. You're not the first. No.
That's actually, I mean, I'll look forward to the YouTube video and see what some people have been saying. The thing is I think Caveman really does a lot of just copying and pasting, and I'm not trying to be rude, but they've seen what's been done already, and they're just kind of making an extraction shooter based on that.
Yeah.
And I just don't think secure containers was an idea that came across some dev's desk and was like, this is going to shape extraction shooters. No, I think it was more of a money grab. I think it was, hey, this game is extremely hard. Let's give the ability for people to buy a container, and I'm talking about Tarkov, and get loot out of the raid so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really hard game. And so that's what I think it was. I think it was a financial scheme, but regardless, and at the same time, you know, this is a loaded thing, but I've thought about this thoroughly. I don't actually think it helps the gameplay. I think it creates a lot of what we've been seeing this wipe, a lot of Timmy naked runs. It kills, in my mind, PvP reward. You kill, you hunt, you lose up so much ammo,
all
so
the
much
good stuff
money
is
to
gone.
kill.
All the good stuff is gone.
Yeah. And then the good stuff is gone. And now some would, from Tabor community, and I'm not ripping on Tabor, might see that as normal because when you usually kill people in Tabor, all you have for values is gear. But in this game, I mean, it only goes so far. You get more excited about opening a backpack and seeing high values than walking up to another backpack and spear and Alton. It's just like, oh, just another one of those. I want to know what's in the backpack.
Exactly.
Oh, there's nothing. Oh, frick. You know, that kind of sucks. So I think it kills the loop that way. It kills the extraction loop. The whole idea of gearing up, going into the raid, grabbing those items and getting out. Well, now 30 seconds to 5 minutes, items are just leaving the raid magically. They're just they're gone. They're absolutely gone. You can't even contest for them anymore. They're completely gone. So
and if you and this is a nice part, like, because an interview has the static questions, but we can always like go deeper into everything, right? So you literally say this, and I've been thinking about this a lot as well. Like, the first thing that I already liked was that you can't put keys in the container, because if keys would be able to fit in there, oh, dude, I would have gone mad. But Tarkov has already added a lot of features to the containers that you can't put certain items in there. A nice example are quest items, but also high valuable items have like a cap. And this game doesn't really have that yet, but I know that Tarkov has like an item that's called the LEDX. And I would compare the LEDX to like, let's say, an elephant. money-wise.
Right.
And in the Gamma, like we can only fit 2 elephants in a Neptune container, but in Tarkov you would be able to fit maybe 10 of those LEDXs in your container, or 9.
Correct.
But they have added a feature that you can only have 2 in there. And I was thinking, how would it be if they would change something to the game that you can put stuff like ammo in your container, but if you find a gold figurine, that doesn't fit in there because it's already really lucky that you got it, but you now also need to take the risk of getting out. And that also counts for the elephant, the graphics card, and all that stuff. But like the standard hideout stuff, because we can like rank items, right? So let's say all the legendary and ultimate items, they don't fit in the container anymore. And all the common, uncommon, and epic items, they do fit in there. I think it would add a way different gameplay, because it would be totally worth to check backpacks again. And everything that goes in the bot container is 9 out of 10 times trade or hideout related. And that could be a way to not get rid of the containers, because a lot of people are used to it now as well. So I would say let's try to tweak the containers. And yeah, this would be my suggestion. But what would be your take on it if you would try to change it, but try to keep the container in the game? Carl.
Yes. So I have kind of 2 angles on this, the secure container thing. And, my first thing is a world with secure containers. Like, I mean, it's in already. To take it out now would be...
Yes, that wouldn't work.
Oh, dude, it'd be worse than ripping a Band-Aid off. Like,
yeah.
it would be very, very hard. Although I still think it's the play to do. But let's just say a world with secure containers. To say, okay, first of all, by adding secure containers, you've just added a whole other like complex balancing that might take 5 years to figure out, because nobody knows how to balance these things. Now that you put them in the game, there's so much balancing required. It's just going to be a hassle from start to finish. So that's just one take. It is what it is. My first thing to do, if they're in the game, I would treat it as one. I like the way that you have to progress to unlock them, and even the best one takes to level 50. Fair, totally fair. Second, so I would keep that in second. I would make it like any other equipment, that it has to be purchasable upon death. Meaning you shouldn't have to purchase this thing once and then just have it forever. If I buy a backpack and I go into raid and I lose it, I have to go buy another backpack. I think secure containers should be the same thing. One, it negates naked running. If you had to pay 50,000, or like depending on the size,
yeah, so the container should be a little bit less expensive. But if you die, you keep what you got in there, but you have to buy it again to use it again. But they will not be like 6 mil.
Exactly.
They will be a lot cheaper. Yeah, okay.
Exactly, like 50,000 for the smallest one, but maybe you're like, man, like so some of these naked runners are like, man, I gotta buy another one to go in to get money. Well, then maybe they look at their assortment of secure containers and they're like, I'll just take the small one this time. But they don't gonna lose the contents, because technically, if you die with your secure container, you just go up to let's say the module or the kiosk, and here's your items from last raid. But yeah, if you want a secure container, you should have to buy it again every time. That's my world with secure containers.
Kind of like that take.
As for balancing about items now, I do think keys should not be in it. There again, that takes away from that PvP element, like writing your story. There's nothing like killing somebody, finding those keys, and just changing the dynamic of your raid. Okay, now I can go here now. Now I can go here now, So
100%.
Definitely keep the keys out. I mean, we could talk about this high value. I do like the idea of making the items bigger so you can fit less in your items. I have killed, like, all my takes are from a solo perspective too, by the way. I think squad play is super easy in this game. But like, I have killed squads where I open their backpacks and they have a genie lamp and a whole bunch of other high values.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, either one, you're a freaking Chad and you don't use security containers like me, or you already filled it up and you can't fit this genie lamp and the sheriff badge. And I was like, I kind of know already that the genie lamp is what, a 1x3 or something like
it's
that.
It's a 1x3, so it doesn't fit in most containers. So there could be like a level 40 chat that doesn't have like the container with the 3 rows. Yeah.
Right. So I do like your idea of, either making it legendary or whatever, or just making it a bigger hitbox so it fills up your container, so that's a good idea. And And, you know, I know they did the whole task item thing. I don't have a problem with task items. And I don't have a problem with, well, I do a little bit, but like, let's say you're running for floppy disks. There's nothing like, I still need like 10 floppy disks according to my tracker. There's nothing like knowing that somebody just ran into fire station, and that is like one of the best ones. And you just run in behind and just know that he probably already, you know, it's already gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's already shoved up his prison wallet and I can't get it now. I just hate that secure containers hurt progression of other people, and I have to just redo the raid. And if I want to make money, I have to redo the raid and hope nobody takes those high values out in order to make money. Because it's expensive, man. It's expensive to run ammo.
Yeah.
Like this, like Tarkov. If you're going to run good ammo, I should get rewarded for it. But, I just spent 500K on ammo and I sell all this gear for 200K. Not so good. So,
I get that.
So that's my hot take on secure containers. I have one more.
Go ahead.
Let me see. Is that the con is the secure containers?
Yep.
I obviously don't like the DLCs either. I want them to make money. They made a great game. I think
I
they
agree
can
on
do
that
it
part
with
as well.
cosmetics.
I wasn't agreeing on the
I
DLC
don't-
part, but I was agreeing on the way to make money. Like the DLCs came out when I already had the Neptune case and everything, and I immediately bought both just to support because I love the game. That's the only reason why I bought
100%.
it. Yeah.
100%. I just don't like when you have to buy to go through progression. Like you're buying your way through the gameplay, through the loop. And I just don't like that. It's like, why would you create this, you know, hardcore extraction, you know, it's almost like this real life feeling of starting with nothing and getting to everything.
Yeah.
And you just buy your way a quarter of the way. It doesn't make any sense in my mind. Like, why have level 1 traders now? Like, what's the point? You just go right through them all, you know, or level 2 or whatever it is for the DLC. I don't understand. Well, I have the standard, so I'm just going to be able to play through that. But there's a lot of people that don't need it now because they have the DLCs. Again, this is just my hot take. I think they just copied Tarkov. I think they could have made money through cosmetics, other ways. But they just kind of did what has already been done, thinking that's the best way to make an extraction shooter, and I just wish they didn't do it. So those are two cons. I do have what I would like to see in the future. I don't know if that answers your question.
There's one question at the end, and that's the question that I was supposed to ask now. The last question is, if you were the developer of the game, right, and no time, no money, no staff, nothing is an issue. Wipe is in 2 weeks, and you can add this one thing right now, today, and it will be there next wipe. And I'm not talking about fixing a bug. I'm talking about adding something to it. So that could be a map. It could be a change in the hideout. What would it be? What would be your number one suggestion?
So you're talking like, this, I know exactly what I'm going to say. So you're not talking about bug fixes, which definitely need to be done again if they want to keep up that quality of life standard.
I agree.
Okay, bugs would be huge for the game.
Yeah.
You're talking about, like, let's say a new feature that gets people excited.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you a few things that I've heard. One person said crafting system in the hideout. Another person said, I've heard somebody said in the past as well, we want grenade containers. Somebody else said merge standalone and PCVR. So if you play PCVR and you go over to a friend's house and you take your headset with you, that you didn't lose progression and you can continue on standalone.
Oh, for sure.
Like
100%.
we've gotten so many ideas. So a little bit in that category, you know? And another guy said, that's also a good one. That was actually coming from the pros and cons, but if you go into storage C, you have like the blank wall, like the biggest storage area, you have a huge wall with nothing, just one bag holder. I'm not sure if that says anything to you.
Well, here's what I'll say about the
just
the
give us your.
I'll give you two.
Just give us your suggestions. Just do that.
Sure. One real quick one. I would make hideout completely customizable. This isn't my main one, but I would make Hideout completely customizable, meaning you buy a room, you buy the kind of shelves you want to go in that room.
And that's
Whether
literally
it's the
what we
gun
heard.
things on the wall. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do for one.
Yeah.
Then you can customize your hideout accordingly. It's all personal. It's super cool. You know, people won't complain like, I want more shelves. I want to hang more armor. Well, do it. Just buy those.
Buy
set
what you need.
things
Buy
and-
what you need, or
Yeah,
or add items to the game. That's what was in that part of the suggestion as well. So, let's say you want to build a shelf. You need to find sheet metal. You need to find pipes, and then you can build it with
There.
a little bit of money. Yeah.
Yep. Super cool idea.
Yeah.
I really think that separates yourself from Tarkov and the other game. Let's just say that because it's super customizable. Second, this is the hot take that's not very exciting, but I think actually helps the game. And that's all I think about. I just want to make the game better for people. I want to help people. That's why I created the task guide. Is adding a PvE mode. And
yeah.
and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a short version. I have a longer version on Reddit, but basically nobody's done this before. But I want a PvE mode option on the console. So, and I want it to be cross progression, meaning not required, but there is an option. So if you have 150 tasks, I want 50 of those tasks that can be done if you want in PvE mode. So what it does is it helps individuals that are learning the game or that want to, come in mid-wipe, is that they have the option to go into the PvE environment.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to worry about players, okay? So then they can work on some tasks. Okay, cool. And everybody gets their PvE mode because I know there's a lot of people that just want to play against AI. And guess what? It builds up their confidence. They learn the map knowledge. They can make a little bit of money. The loot pool would be a little bit adjusted for PvE to PvP. But eventually, they're going to hit the wall.
Yeah.
And this is the wall I want them to hit. Is that I want to encourage everybody to get off that PvE and get into PvP. Because I think PvP is the core game design of an extraction shooter. It's what gets your blood pumping. It gets you moving around the map accordingly, engaging in fights. Whereas in PvE, you just W key everywhere you want to go, So I want to allow them to get that progression up in PvE without being a totally separate mode and taking them out of the queue, because that will happen. It happened with Tarkov. We had the player base drop off of PvP because they just want to play PvE, and they're just this whole other game realm that we don't even exist with them anymore.
No.
They're just progressing through the game. They reach top. They probably don't play it again. And so I want that dynamic where every 5 tasks, now you have to do PvP tasks, which means if you go into a PvE raid, you're not going to be able to finish that task. You have to do a PvP raid. And so maybe the casuals on the weekend are just like, all right, it's PvP time. Let's get the boys together. Let's do some of these tasks, and then we can jump back onto our PvE mode,
Could you
So this is a
answer
hot take.
could you answer one of the chat's questions? Isn't he just talking
sure, which
about
one?
isn't he just talking about training rates? So actually the question is, what is the difference between a training raid and a PvE raid? I know the answer, but I would like
Perfect,
you to answer it.
So training raids have zero effect other than your ability to just run into the raid, run around the map, learn it, engage with scavs. You could loot, but you don't get any of that loot. What I'm trying to say is when you go up to the console and you're just trying to progress through the game, you're trying to level up your level, you're trying to finish your task, you have this ability to click on resort, PvE, or PvP. So then you enter a PvE mode, there's going to be 0 players. The loot pool is going to be a little bit less. If your tasks allow it, you can still complete them. But then eventually, like I said, some tasks are going to be PvP required, meaning you'll enter resort, you're going to have to pick PvP, and then you can finish that task. Hopefully that answers your question.
I think it does.
I think it does.
I think it does.
Perfect. This is a hot take. This is what, like you said, if I was the developer, I would do this far beyond secure containers, because the biggest argument with secure containers is, hey, this is supposed to help casuals.
Yeah.
I don't think secure containers helps casuals at all.
It creates a
Actually,
different
don't think
gameplay.
secure container- different gameplay. I don't even think it makes better players.
No,
I think
no.
PvE makes better players. I think it trains people. to get good at shooting, to understand scav spawns, to understand loot spawns, to build confidence, eventually to the point where they're entering our raids now in PvP. That's what I think PvE does. I don't think secure containers helps that.
I
So it's
totally
a-
get your point of view. Totally.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
These
I
are
don't
like
mind.
we keep the questions pretty slim so we can reach out to as many people as
For sure.
possible. But if you have anything else that you want to add, go ahead, and then we go on to the next person.
No, those are my two real hot takes on this wipe. I think they're doing a great job. I hope they do listen to community feedback.
I hope so as
not
well.
Just to copy and paste.
That's why
I
we
hope-
are doing this.
I guess
We are trying as a community to reach out. Yeah.
basically, I hope they make the best extraction shooter and not just a copy and paste of an extraction.
Yeah.
Like I want them to sit around the table and say, will this be good for the game? Will this be bad for the game? Let's try some new stuff, stuff like that. And so
Mhm.
use your community.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that Caveman, you do not know the best course of action for your game, but there are thousands of people out there that are extremely smart and have good takes and that can make your game really good. Utilize them. The community is incredible. They're super smart.
Yeah, and that's literally what this whole stream is about. Trying to get the community to talk towards them. Like, I have the direct link towards some of the developers, so I can send all of that through. But I don't want to be the kind of person to tell them, hey, you should do this, hey, you should do that, because I'm that kind of guy that hits max traders in 3 days. Like, I'm not the average player of the game,
For
and the
sure.
community is the average. That's where you find the average players. People that maybe play 2 hours, and not literally a day, but maybe 3 days a week. So they don't progress that fast as I do or somebody else. Like, I am the worst example to listen to when it comes to changing things about the game. Like, I can talk about bugs and stuff, but I should never go to them and tell them, hey, you should lower down the XP system with 200% because it was too fast for me. Like, I'm the worst example
Right.
in there. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why we reach out. We want to reach out to like a larger group of people and hear different suggestions, different pros, different cons, and hopefully they do something about that.
Yes, that's completely fair. And like I said, we've touched the whole casual and sweat thing based on my takes to the game. And,
Totally.
I mean, it's important. It's totally important. I'm just like you too. I progress to the game way too fast. I do it as a solo, and I still have to listen to everybody and say like, okay, what am I missing? Like, oh, you only play for an hour a day? Okay, well, you're not going to get anywhere. I think secure containers aren't going to get you anywhere either. I
No.
think PvE will definitely help.
I
you
totally
out
get
a
that.
bunch.
And if you can literally pause it, that can change so much for people as well. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing
And
with PvE.
maybe-
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, and I if you want to wrap up, that's totally fine. But one day maybe we could talk about wipes and how those should be balanced according to casuals as well. I don't think casuals. I'm starting to be in the camp that I don't think casuals should have the same effect as sweats when it comes to
Mhm.
progression, because in 3 months, 4 months, they don't get as far as us. So why do we have to wipe them back to beginning? Maybe
Yeah.
they should be. Maybe it should be balanced in the sense of, you should be able to gauge your community based on input, based on how much they play, based on how much of the game is wiped for them. Maybe they only get wiped back to 25 tasks complete or
Yeah.
something like that. I'm not saying I know the answer to this. I'm just throwing this out in the air into the nether so people can start to think about, what is the possibility of helping casuals through wipes.
To answer your question about like talking more and everything, we are doing this one time to see if people are gonna like it. If we get
For
positive
sure.
feedback, we are actually thinking about doing this one time a month. And I'm also
idea.
thinking about, it sounds maybe a little bit cringy, but a streamer podcast. I just get let's say 5, 6, maybe 7 other streamers. We are all in one big Discord call. We have our picture or a webcam on, doesn't fucking matter. And we just talk, like, just have a good time, but also have some serious talks about everything, and then share that podcast again with Caveman. And the whole goal of that podcast is talking about our personal experiences. What do we experience? What do we experience from our community? What is the chat telling us? And what would you do in that case? And I think a lot of people would actually enjoy watching that.
100%. I think
Yeah.
it might take a little bit to get traction, but I think that's a brilliant idea. Even this podcast might take a little, or like this talk might take a little bit to get traction.
Yeah.
To see that that you're doing it, and that people can see, oh, if I want to tune in, or I get another video once a month about, what some of the streamers are saying and what the community's saying. I mean, it might just take a little bit of time, but I think it's good. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, for so far, we have only heard positive feedback from everybody, so that's really, really positive. Yeah, really nice. Yeah. PlumberKarl, I would really want to thank you for your time and for everything you have said. And yeah, maybe in the future we hop on a raid together or do another talk like this.
Not a problem. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. I want to wish you the best and have a nice day, evening, wherever you live in the world.
You as well. You as well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. All right, Ngalfar, can you send the next? Oh, a picture I don't recognize, and I only see one letter. Who am I talking to?
Natsuplaysgames.
Oh, Metsu. Hey, man.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, welcome to the community talk. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Noted that you was a bit ill at one point.
Oh.
Bit of a chest infection, didn't you?
Yeah. That's all gone. Like the whole lung infection is gone. We're feeling great. If you still hear me coughing, sometimes it's simply from smoking, so that's normal. So we are here with Metsu. Can you? I will start straight away. How old are you?
37.
37. All right. And how long have you been playing the game?
Well, before this wipe.
All right. So you played the previous wipe as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what kind of equipment do you use to play the game?
No Quest 3.
The Quest 3. And do you play wired or wireless?
I'm about to do both actually, because I'm about to use my PC as well.
Okay, and are you already thinking about using like any type of software? Like, are you going to use like virtual desktop or just straight Steam VR or Meta?
Meta Link.
Meta, you think? Okay, okay. And so this whole community talk is based on the community, so you as well. And I would love to hear from you because you played both wipes. What is actually what are the positive things and maybe even the negative things in a form of feedback that you have experienced going from wipe 1 to this current wipe?
Well, the first wipe, I got used to the storage area, but now I got used to the new storage area now. So, but I do like the new layout.
You like the new layout, and do you have
progression to the other storages and that?
Yeah. Okay. You and any other things like are you enjoying the new map, or are there also things that you don't really like? Like we've heard people being really positive about the secure containers. We've heard people that don't like it. What's your take on that?
The new map. I like the maps. I think the maps they could add one more if they wanted to, but they don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect fine with the maps that we got. The safe containers, I kind of agree with somewhat of other players saying about it. Make as legendary and ultimate loot cannot go in the safe containers.
Yeah,
so they have to put it in their backpack. They gotta fight to get it out.
Yeah, that it's more being used for like hideout stuff, tradables, maybe ammo, but like the legendary and ultimate loot. Yeah, literally what we said in the
because sometimes you got to take a task item out, and sometimes you don't get it out. You have to go back in and get it out.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it's still like really nice if you can kill somebody and he still has all that good stuff. So it makes kills way much worth than.
Makes it fair.
Yeah, it makes it more fair as well. Yeah, I totally get your take on that. Totally get your take. And if you would just look at this current wipe, like your progression, like what level are you right now? Do you know that? Plus minus?
Level 20.
You're level 20. Okay. So you have.
I'm progressing
Sorry?
I'm progressing quite nicely.
Yeah, it's all good. What are, in your opinion, for those first 20 levels that you have played, what are like the top 3 or 2 pros that you have experienced, and what are like the top 2, 3 cons?
Well, pros, the gunplay is really nice. I love the gun mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Just the loading, unloading, sighting up. It's so easier. I have played Ghost of Tabor, and I find that a little bit. The mechanics are a little bit awkward.
Okay.
I'm not doubting the game, but it's just Exfilzone is a lot more better. When the mechanics, it's more smoother.
Yeah.
The other ones, the backpacks, I find I'm finding it hard sometimes putting things in and trying to get it in place. So you can get
you actually have issues with that. Okay.
But I wouldn't mind if you got the small backpacks, and you got the medium, larges, and then extra large backpacks that you get. I wouldn't mind the medium can actually hold an extra gun on top, like the larger ones can.
Mm-hmm. I get what
the
you mean.
Small ones, keep the small ones that you can't put anything on the sides or on the back. You only fit little bits in the middle.
Yeah.
But I would love to see more with the medium backpacks that you can actually put gun on the back and put it.
Yeah, so actually what you're saying, like the lower level backpacks, that they actually have like some extra features so that they would be more worth carrying into the raid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of get that. I totally get that. And how do you think about the current economy of the game? Because you're level 20 right now. A lot of people are also already a bit ahead of you. How is it for you faring in the raids? Like, are you like getting killed a lot of the times, or are you playing like really safe and tactical? Like, what is your experience? Like, is it easy for you to make money, or are you having a really hard time?
I'm not making a hard time. Actually, I sometimes play safe, and then I look for the PvP mode, going for a fight. And sometimes I don't win, but that's the game for you.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah,
I play it more tactical. Keep an eye on my my back and front and left and right.
What is your favorite map?
Oh,
do you have a favorite?
I've been playing a lot. Actually, don't really have much of a good favorite one, but I've been playing a lot of bit of Resort.
And is that then because of a particular reason? Is it because of the PvP or specific spawns for the hideout, or is it easier for you to make money there?
It's small. I can get around a lot more easier.
Yeah, like the thing that I like a lot about Resort is, indeed, the map is small, but I can literally have like 8-minute raids on that map and still have done quite a lot. That's what I really like about Resort. Like, if I play Suburbs, I have a really hard time to not play a raid less than 35 minutes. And Resort is just like, let me just hop on a quick few games, you know? Like that's really what Resort gives me. I really love that.
That's like Metro, isn't it, really? If you don't want to do Metro, you do Resort.
It feels like then Resort is your next option, yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. All right, then we actually get to the last question that I asked everybody. What would be your number one suggestion Caveman Studios should add to the game at the next wipe?
That's a good one. What would they put in? I think they could. They're putting new maps in because the maps are fine, but they could if they want to. But because that'll cause more problems having a new map sometimes. Is maybe some new guns.
A few new guns. And if I'm gonna say now, and I love to make people think. So no new maps and no new guns allowed. If they need to add something, let's say a specific type of mechanic, something to the hideout, maybe something to the quests, anything that would come up to mind?
Well, there's two actually. I would actually do one to the hideout,
and that is
which is more storage areas. So you got to unlock each more storage area, so you can have more storage areas.
Oh, so just more storage. Yeah, okay.
If you want, and medical part as well. Would add a bit more to the medical area of the hideout.
I totally agree on that. I would love to have more interaction in the medical area and more loot or space options there, so that you can actually put like your med cases there, or that there would be like, let's say something simple as a stim rack or whatsoever, that you can put more stuff there, that you divide the loot more over your hideout and not just everything in one case and you just stack them on top of each other on the shelf.
And then the second one is to do with in the raid, random loot. You go in loot, you go in there, you find it, you take it out, and you go back to the same spot you found it, but it's not there, it's something else. Just randomly different areas, it spawns different parts of the area. So you have to go around looking for it instead of just going to the same spot when you know where it is.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot more fun and a lot more, what do you call it? In contact with other players, because you know you're not going to find it there. You could find it somewhere else. You could.
Yeah, I totally get that.
You know.
Oh, I like those two ideas. Yeah. Well, like I said, everything that's being said in this video will be sent to Caveman Studios. We're also gonna like write it down on text, so it's like probably easier for them to read and everything. We can list like all the suggestions down. But like the raw video, the raw material here, that is something that we're gonna share on YouTube and share with Caveman Studios as well. So I want to think.
One more thought about it right now.
Sorry?
They could cheating. I've noticed there's been cheating in the game.
Cheating.
They could add like an AI cheating thing where the AI actually picks up on the players who have in duplicate playing.
Yeah,
So
you mean the
defense,
dupers, that items that are duped, that they will be deleted or the person will be penalized.
Or like you, where you got hit, you had the really good arm on, and the bullet just went through when it shouldn't gone right through that point.
Yeah, true.
So because of they cheating.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Was it 993?
Yeah.
Especially with the 993.
Yeah, M993 is
to,
the best ammo that penetrates everything. Yeah.
But they need to use something where if they're going to cheat, they're going to be penalized on it. They're going to have consequences of cheating.
Yeah, and you know what the big difference is? You have cheating and you have abusing. And duping is a bug or a glitch of the game. And if people abuse it on paper, if you want to be like really serious about this, it's not considered cheating. It's literally abusing or gaining a benefit out of a bug or a glitch. So it's really hard to penalize somebody for it if you don't have anything like written down in your game policy about that. And as far as I know, they don't have that. So the only thing that they can do is fix most of the problems, hit a wipe so everybody gets reset, and then kind of just pray that there's not another way to dupe again. That's, as far as I know, the only thing they can do.
To help with that situations of what you said about the abusing and that, they can use an AI system where it stops them doing that.
Yeah,
it picks up on people, how they're playing, what they're doing.
Well, it is definitely something that will be, you have said it here, so it's something that's going to be sent over to them. So maybe they will do something with it, and maybe it's something for the future, because I don't know what their plans are for next wipe. So maybe there's also a chance that most of the things that we say here now could be used for not next wipe, but the wipe after. So we can only see and wait.
My next door neighbor, he's a programmer and everything else, and a programmer and a coder, and he does a lot of stuff. He does a server on Scum, where he's also using an AI system to pick up on anyone who's cheating or abusing the system on their servers. So it prevents them doing things like that.
I know it's possible, and it could be something that they are already working on. It could be something that they haven't thought of because they used a simple anti-cheat system. But it is definitely something that they will hear because you have mentioned it. So thank you for your suggestion. And
a lot of games use a simple cheat system.
Yeah, a lot of them
Call
use
GT
basics ones. Yeah, true.
Call of Duties, Rust, DayZ, they all use a simple anti-cheat anti-cheat software.
Yeah,
but it'd be nice if they use it, integrate AI into it, because
it would be nice.
It'll make it.
It would be nice, but it should be a polished thing, of course. Like AI is also something that still has a lot of flaws. So
I know the game's in alpha, so
it's a game in alpha, so we can't even. We are not even allowed to complain. We can only give feedback and share our thoughts, and that's literally what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the game's on, where it is at the moment. You're going to expect bugs and glitches and that.
Yeah.
It's not a fully out game yet.
No, it's not a fully out game yet. It's an alpha, so that kind of stuff is something that we have to accept. But it's also something that we can help the Caveman Studios with by writing feedback towards them or doing something like this and making sure that they hear our voices. And maybe we give them an idea that they haven't thought about yet.
And everyone's got a voice. Everyone's got their opinion on.
Everybody has a voice and everybody has an opinion, indeed. Yeah. Hey, Matt. So,
well, I love your stream.
Oh, thanks, man.
I clipped some of the stuff that you did in it, like the flash grenade up on the motel and the light.
Oh yeah,
flashlight pointing at the teammate. It was funny.
Yeah, we actually have that in a video now, and that's coming out in a week or two. So, yes, clips that you have made as well are being used in YouTube content videos now.
I do love you streaming, and just wait till you start streaming again. When I get paid, I'm giving you over 200 gift subs.
Nah,
So
don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. And don't promise anything. Nah.
I don't do promises.
Okay. Hey, but then
I want to give. It's something I wanted to give.
I would really appreciate it, but don't feel yourself forced on doing that kind of stuff. Only if you really want to do it yourself.
I'm not forced.
And if I can actually ask you one thing, get one of our charity products, because then you also help a charity.
Okay.
That I would appreciate that a lot as well. Yeah.
I help with the charity and help with your channel.
I really appreciate it, man. Then I want to thank you a lot for your time, and then we can hop over to the next interview. And I'm not sure how many we have left, but it would be nice if they are not with too many, because I also want to play a little bit.
Okay, I will be playing some.
Yeah, it's two left. Yeah. All right, Ngalfar, can you send me the next interview? Oh, hey, it's my lovely friend Sean. How you doing, man?
How we doing today, buddy?
Good. How was work?
It's going. It's not too bad, but almost done.
Oh, by the way, stop this whole interview, man. Just look at how beautiful this guy is. Like, all you want to do is like, you know? Like
Can you see me? Because it's not showing up.
We can see you. We can all see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. You're
That's
looking beautiful.
Nice balls,
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking beautiful. All right, so same thing for you. Everybody, this is Smorleyyy. Smorleyyy is also known from the stream. Me and Smorleyyy, we play a lot, aka Sean. Sean, how old are you?
I am 26.
26. And when did you start playing this game?
I started at the beginning of January, so about halfway through last wipe.
Halfway through last wipe. And if you compare last wipe to this wipe, like what are like the big pointers or like the big things that you noticed? What made you like really enthusiastic for playing this wipe, or maybe even negative? I don't know. Like, give us your take.
Yeah, I really like the dynamic loot spawns. I think it's a really good touch. I like that. I know somebody touched on it earlier. I really like that, you know, you don't go in the same room expecting the same armor crate and the same weapon crate every single raid. It adds a little bit of variety to the raid. I do like as well that this wipe, the keys are a lot more, well, keys have always been prevalent, but like to get keys, you kind of have to run keys a little bit more. I mean, you can still find them, obviously, but I feel like I don't find them around the map as much.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of adds another layer to the game. Like, hey, in order to get this good loot, you got to run good loot. And for me personally, that's a big plus for me.
Yeah. Nice. And if you can give us your 3 top pros and your 3 top cons, just based on the current wipe.
Yeah. So pros, I'm gonna stick with dynamic loot spawns. I really love that. I do. I really like Resort. I like that it's a smaller map, that you get the close range fights and you get a lot of fights, but it's not as small and compact as Metro, and it doesn't feel as much of a cluster. You know, you can kind of have a tactical fight, but like, you know, you're not running a vertex site at max zoom and you're looking at a dude this big across the map. You know, it's still close. You still have to really think about what you're doing more so. And then third, I really like the G3 builds this wipe. I know a lot of people have their complaints about them, but I think they're fun.
Nah,
I think
they're awesome.
I just like that. I like the new just gun model, right? Like her platform, right? So you got your ARs, you've got your snipers, and just the G3. I think it was a really good addition. Negatives.
I want to pause you for a sec.
Yeah.
What would be a new gun series that you would like to add?
New gun series I'd like to add. That's a good one. I would like to see a revolver of some sort. I think that would add for a lot of fun.
Russian
especially
roulette.
like on Scav raid trolling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you get to the end of the raid and it's me and you, and it's like, hey, you want to play Russian roulette for the loot? You know, it just adds a different aspect to the game that we don't have. I would like to see more SMGs that are more applicable, because as of right now, I mean, the UMP is okay, but the Evo is really the only SMG that you're gonna see in, like, you know, kitted Metro lobbies and high tier lobbies. I'd like to see something that's that we can use as well as the Evo. You know, I don't want to just be stuck using Evo if I want to run a smaller SMG build. Yeah, I'd say probably SMGs.
I wanted to say that as well. Vector. The Vector could be a cool one.
Yeah. Oh, I've always, and they've got the Vector in the Battle Royale, and I love it in the Battle Royale. I think it's a really fun gun to use. So I would like to see that in Exfilzone too.
All right. What about your cons?
Negatives?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know it's been said a lot. It's going to be said in everybody's. The items clipping through floors has always been frustrating.
Yep.
They're alpha. It's part of the game. You know, you just get used to it. And I mean, at this point, it's not as detrimental. But I could see as a new player, you know, you kill somebody and you get this kitted SSR, and you set it on the table to put something in the bag, and the whole thing just disappears. You know, I can see how detrimental that could be.
Yeah.
I've had some issues with placing things into my vest, like crouching with meds. They fall out a lot.
Yeah. It's actually a bug. If you crouch and you put your meds in, they fall through your pouch. You have to be standing to put meds in the pouches. Yeah, that's a bug that still hasn't been fixed. Yeah.
Exactly, and I know it's just a bug because I remember it wasn't an issue last wipe. So I mean, that would be something that's been frustrating for me, especially when I'm running low on meds in raid. You know, you're in a tight fight, you heal behind a rock, you get out, and then all of a sudden you reach for your med and it's gone. And I mean, that's probably really my only 2 negatives. I don't even really think I have 3. I mean, I've had such a positive experience this wipe for the most part.
That's only good to hear. But then I do
Yeah.
have a feeling that you have more than one suggestion if you could add something to the wipe.
Yeah, I've got a couple different things, man. I mean, lore is a big one for me. We talked about it
Yeah,
briefly the
we
other
have
night,
been
and I-
talking about this a lot. Like, I wanna start off a little bit as well because I know Smorleyyy probably has his whole own take on it. I have actually written one time a full presentation for the Tarkov lore when Tarkov only had like 4 maps. I've written down a full lore. I still have the PowerPoint presentation in my Discord. It's about where does every type of scav come from? Where does the boss come from? Why is the boss behaving like he is behaving? Like, what is his past? Why is he like that? From what country is everybody? Like, there was a full lore, and that is something I would like to see in this game as well. But give me your take, Smorleyyy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what you said. I just feel like having a storyline behind a game makes the game more personable. And I don't think Exfilzone needs to go like we talked about the other night, World of Warcraft, Destiny, Halo. I don't think they need to go to that level
No.
necessarily. But like you said, just knowing where the scavs came from, why they're fighting, like why am I getting targeted and these guys are all in a faction together? It's just a little bit of and me and Prix were actually talking about it earlier. There is a little bit, when you look at your tasks and stuff like the killing Ironclad, it talks about a scavenger uprising in the metro area, but just kind of seeing that expanded on would be, I think, would be a really good addition. And I know not a lot of the player base would appreciate it, but I think a lot of the player base also would appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
That's really my only big major one that hasn't been said today. I mean, I had a couple lined up, but I mean, customizable hideouts is I think a really good option, almost like modular. Like you have this space, you can put mannequins, or you can put a gun wall, or you can put this instead. I think,
but the choice is yours.
Key rack. Yeah, absolutely. A bigger key rack would be amazing.
Mhm.
I know me and you both have the kiosk, right?
The kiosk.
Our our key rack is so full; it's just full of keys, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But how many times have we been you're like, hey, what keys you got? And I'm like, oh, I only got this and this, and then a couple minutes later, I'm like, oh shit, I actually have one of these as well because I didn't see it buried in the list of keys. You know what I mean? So that's probably really the only thing that I would add that hasn't been said.
All right. Not cool. If that's the thing. If you're one of the last people and a lot of things have already been said,
it's tough. Yeah.
You can double it or you can just leave it behind and keep the interview short. But I also know that you're working. Are you actually driving right now? It looks like you're standing still.
I am in my car. I'm not driving.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. No, because I need you in Metro at some point. So don't do anything stupid.
Yeah. No, that won't happen. Yeah, I'll be off work here shortly. So I mean, if you're running raids tonight, I'll be on.
I'm gonna be running some more raids after. I got one more interview after this, and then I'll take a break. We play the promo video, of course. We play some clips. We play the promo video again, and then we're gonna do some raids, of course. Yeah. So then Smorleyyy, I really want to thank you for your time, and I will see you in a biddy to play some raids.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you, dude. See you soon.
Yeah.
All right, and the next one, and this is actually, I'm gonna be real honest about it. This is something I want, because people can have some comments about it. Like, why would somebody give feedback on a game that he doesn't play? I think that Ngalfar, my hand this way. Ngalfar is actually one of the few people that doesn't own a VR headset, but has watched his crazy amount of hours in Contractors that he can share his thoughts and opinions based on a viewer's perspective. And I think that is really worth something as well. You're also part of a community if you just like watching the game. I know that I have a lot of viewers as well that lurk my streams that don't even play Contractors. But they also have a voice. They are also part of the community. So, Ngalfar, aka Dale, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm having an absolute blast so far. This whole community talk, I've had the chance to talk with most people coming in before the stream, everybody's been so super nice, man. Everybody's so appreciative and complimenting, and I fucking love you guys. I really do.
Yeah. Big shout out to Ngalfar. He is one of my editors and responsible for a lot of things, same as this whole OBS overlay that we're using right now. He is making a lot of the videos. He also made the promo video for this charity. Huge shout out. And I know that Dale is, only serious, open for work. So if you're a streamer and you need somebody to edit videos for you or make an OBS overlay or whatsoever, this is the guy that you can reach out to. If you go to my Twitch page, click on my name, go down to the information, there is a button that says create a video or get me an editor, something like that. If you click on it, it will bring you to his website, and there you can get in contact with him. And for the right price, he will do the perfect work for you.
Wow, that's one heck of a shout out.
Dude, that's because I am really happy with everything you are doing for me. And it's been crazy, this whole journey. And we've only started this journey 8 weeks ago. So I'm really happy with that.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're gonna...
I cannot emphasize on a lot of things that are like contractor specifically, but I'll have some extra time to do some, to talk about some other stuff that I would like to see in the game.
Yeah, so let's just start first. I'm not going to ask you how long you've been playing the game, because we all know you are a viewer, a moderator, and actually a Contractors video editor. So you actually do see a lot of the game. You know a lot about the game. Like you made you made a key run video for me where you did like all the map explanation and everything. So I know that you know stuff. So my first question is, and that's just because we ask this question to everybody, how old are you?
I am 37.
37 years old. And for as far as I know, you are probably Contractors active viewer for 8, maybe 9 weeks, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
pretty much. I mean, I've been hopping into your stream a couple of times, but you've been playing other stuff like, about half a year ago. So, I've been mostly been watching for you. But I do have to admit that I love everything about I don't even play shooters that much, but I just love everything about the whole community. I've been involved in mostly Pokemon community, Fire Emblem community, Minecraft community. I think everybody in the chat will know how toxic some of those environments can be.
Yeah.
And it feels really different coming into the contractors scene. For that matter, and especially all the people that have been like in the chat earlier. Everybody's so appreciative. Everybody wants to help out in some way.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that, and that's why I'm having such a good time sticking around.
Really nice. We cannot compare from the past wipe. So, viewer perspective, what would be your 1-2 pros and 1-2 cons of what you have seen on this stream? Based on this wipe, like the gameplay that you have seen.
Well, I can only think of negative things right now because I have a couple, but it's mostly from a video editing perspective, I guess.
Okay.
But as like the positive things, from a viewer's perspective, I think it's in a way it's sort of like easy to follow, like I know nothing about shooters or this specific genre of games.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember when I was watching your Talker stream back in the day, and it's just easy to follow, and that might also be, a compliment to you for, taking your time to, go over some of the things that you're experiencing or what you're exactly doing, your train of thought of how to approach a certain fight. That really helps me understand what the game is about.
Your webcam quit. Did you maybe minimize something?
Oh.
Yeah, you need to turn it on and off again if you want to keep using it. Because now you got a really sexy smooch face. Yeah.
Is that, yeah, okay.
He's
it's
back.
Working again. All right. So, but that would be like the positive thing for me. Like it's pretty easy to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from the financial part, that would really get me interested in actually getting a VR set and actually getting this game.
Yeah. All right. So then just name. We can name it negative stuff, cons. What would be some feedback that you have seen based on viewing the game and editing the game?
Yeah. So my biggest irritation with basically how you're viewing the game is the alt-in. Like if you're editing the videos, it's really limiting your field of view.
Yeah.
And I get this a lot. The shorts are probably the least worrisome in that category because I can cut out quite a lot. But for like the full like the widescreen versions on YouTube, it does cut out a lot of a lot of your view of what you can actually see.
But that is that's more like an editor's perspective, right? Like that when you try to make content for contractors and somebody wears an alt-in, that the actual amount of content that you can create is less because like 70% of the screen is blocked by the alt-in. Yeah. No, I totally get that. I understand that. It's not something that they should change, in my personal opinion, because the alt-in is the best helmet in the game, so it should have downsides. It has the hearing downside and it has the visual downside. So I agree on that. But maybe they can create a spectator mode that the spectators don't see the alt-in, or maybe in a transparent way, but the player through his headset sees the full alt-in. That could be content-wise and editing-wise. Could that be really interesting? But
absolutely.
I think that's a huge thing to implement into a game. But I totally get it.
Yeah, and to be honest, it might be a little bit of cherry picking, because I do get that for like the person in the actual VR. Like in the set, it's really different, and it's not that much of a nuisance. But for like a viewer's standpoint, it does, it's not always super helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like a spectator mode, or something along those lines, or a different view that you can stream out and not be able to see as a player. That would help.
I think so as well. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And you had multiple, you said, so shoot.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think the other main thing that I sometimes have an issue with are the long range fights, and especially the ones where you don't have like an actual proper scope. And also, again, this is from like a video editing standpoint, but sometimes it's just really, really hard to see what you're actually shooting at. And it's probably super different when you're in like with the glasses on. But from watching it just on the stream, just flat screening it.
I think especially on a mobile phone, it's really hard to see if somebody would be using a red dot for a 300-meter kill. I think on a 36-inch monitor, no biggie. Especially if you're sitting with your nose against it, But if you have a mobile phone, I think you're literally trying to find a dot,
Yeah, and there's not much you can do against, like, that is just how VR in general works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there could be, I don't know. I know the game is really anti, nameplates kind of thing, or other ways to see somebody, obviously. But yeah.
But
maybe that's also
that's
something for spectator mode, I guess.
It is from spectator mode editing perspective, so I totally get that. Yeah. You have more?
Well, not exactly.
We don't need to fish. We don't need to fish. But then we can just go to the part that most people love. Of course, you have seen so much. You have edited so much. What would you do if you changed from an editor to a developer? What would you add to the game next wipe?
Actually, it's a food item that I would like to implement. Like, I've seen a couple of other suggestions, and heard a couple of other suggestions, and there's been a few in there that really touched on what I initially wanted to say, but I think the one that I would personally like to see most, and that also comes from my, from my viewers' perspective, I would love to see the Hayaplays chips, a food item in the game.
Prima item.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it'd be a great gag.
It could be a great gag. Like, yeah, I've said it before. If we would get a streamer item, we should get like a bag of chips, the HideOut chips, or we should get a red microphone because we sing a lot on stream. So we have like the karaoke, the karaoke microphone, or the bag of chips as a streamer item. That would be awesome. Yeah, totally get that.
Or people were talking about a melee weapon as well. Maybe they should give you like a Beat Saber in the game. You know,
Beat Saber. But serious, is there like anything that could come up to mind, like if you would add something to the game?
Not necessarily. I think the most of the things that I had in mind went along with the crafting system or something like the base being modular. I think the only other thing that I can think about right now is how the base and the storage works, so to say.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. With the kiosk will get like more like an insight on the hideout. Explain it yourself. You can probably explain it better, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, you have the PC and you have the kiosk and you have like the interface from the traders.
Yeah.
And I mean, fashioning up your hideout whatever way you want is already a good way to go. But sometimes it also becomes a matter of just not having room anymore or not being able to put things how you would want it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still need to have room for like certain quest items or certain armors or weapons or a backpack and whatnot. And it to me at least, it takes away from being able to customize how your base would look, how you want it. So instead of having to put everything somewhere in your base, I think it would be great if you would have like a similar UI to how the traders work, but then basically as like a digital storage for your stuff, so you don't have to put it somewhere else, and you can just like ask for it, or just get it out of your like digital storage, so to say, from the UI.
Yeah, I get it. It just gives you like you have every item scattered in your hideout and everything, but you just have a computer that says gear, ammo, junk, valuables, yada, yada, yada. You click on it and it says you got 2 of those in your hideout. You click on it and you can literally grab it out of there, and then it will be missing from that part in your hideout. The only dangerous part is if you're stacking stuff like making a pyramid or something like that, then it could be dangerous. That's like the first thing that comes to mind when you tell me that kind of stuff, that could actually fuck up some troll thingies that you make in the hideout. But who knows? Like it could be a thing. Could be a thing. But I do like the suggestion. And I was reading chat at the same time. Night mode has been set already. Barter only for top gear hasn't been set. But I could actually like end this part with giving my, let's say, top 3 suggestions that I personally have. And
all right, before you do, I will drop out. And so you can get ready for like a metro and whatnot. But before I go, I just want to say just my heartfelt thanks to everybody that's been involved today, either in the chat or in the voice chat, supporting the channel, hopefully also supporting the charity that's coming up. And I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what's coming up in the near future, experiencing with everybody, with you in the chat, in the stream. So have a good one, guys.
Bye, Sexy. All right, so to just give my own personal 3 suggestions, and then I will actually check Discord real quick, because I think I have 2 people that have sent me their suggestions on Discord. So I will read. Wait, I will just read them out loud real quick. Maybe I can find them real quick. It could be a bit hard, but I will check. I think I got one from Cuddly Gargoyle, 34 years old. Plays the game PC VR via link cable with the Quest 3. He has been playing since the 20th of January 2025, and he has 245 hours in game. He has played 2 wipes. And then I asked him, what are the main pros for this wipe for you? His answer is, I really love the secure container, the new map, and the bank bosses. What are the main cons of this wipe for you? His response: I am not a huge fan of the bank vault being easily accessible at the start of a raid on Resort. And then on the last one is the biggest suggestion. He says, I would like to see a way to open the bank vault that promotes some kind of risk reward, timed door or bomb-like metro wall has that could trigger an alarm before or after explosion, rather than it being open for unkitted players to snatch and run at the start of a raid. So that could be, I totally get that. Also got one from Epic. Epic Goalie. Epic is 15 years old. He plays the game on a quest-free standalone. He has been playing Contractors Showdown since the Battle Royale fully released. This is his second wipe. This wipe has a lot of more keys, loot, and more PvP for me, so that's something that he likes. The main cons are the amount of nakeds. You can make nakeds less common by, if you don't have the gear, that you can't access your safe container for the rest of the raid. And how scavs either one tap tier 4 and 5 helmets or blackout limbs instantly. My suggestion for next wipe is to make a Scav system where you get bonus points if you kill a scav player that is shooting scavs, or by extracting by not killing any scavs. So really simple, you get points for killing trader scavs or contractors. The more points you have, the better spawn and scav gear you spawn with. And a way to prevent lag meta, like maybe adding full lag protection armor rigs or like a shin guard. Guns that I would like to be added are all the weapons in the Battle Royale, like the Vector, the Desert Eagle, the double barrel shotgun, and that one powerful sniper I forgot the name of. And I remember that one more guy sent me everything. So I am looking if I can find him. I also got a message from Cloudwalker3. This guy is 16 years old. He plays standalone quest 3. Since he plays since the game came out in beta. He played technically 2 wipes. He loves that they added a lot new stuff to the game, like weapons and items. The cons are a lot more glitches and the duping. And his biggest suggestion is to add more LMGs and maybe another underground map like Metro. So those are the 3 filled-in forms that I've received. I also got another message, I think, just right now by somebody. And that's from Ghost Lord. He says suggestions, if you can pass them to Cavemen, accounts to merge so we can play standalone and PCVR with the same account, dog tags of kills that we can place on a wall, and friend invites in your personal hideout. And he put that in the order in which he finds that most important. So that was actually everything from the send-in information by the viewers. Really like that. But if we would talk about my top 3 suggestions, I would say my number 1 suggestion, and maybe you guys are like, ooh, is that your number 1? But I'm really sensitive for it. My number 1 suggestion is lore. I really appreciate a game. I'm coming from World of Warcraft, guys. I appreciate a game 10 times more when the story adds up. Simple thing. If we need to dress up like a policeman with a beret and a gun, I would like to get some more feeling to it. Like it shouldn't just feel like, all right, I'll take the gear and I'll just kill those scavs. No, I want to read a story why I want to get mad at those scavs and understand why I have to take on those clothes and fuck them up. You know, I am really into the lore. That's a really important thing for me. Another thing that I would like to add personally is indeed, a lot of people didn't know that, and it hasn't even been mentioned, but since I am a grinder in this game, of course, I would really appreciate a prestige system. And I'm not talking about a prestige system like Tarkov, that you can take stuff with you to the next wipe. No, I would like to add a cosmetic reward to the prestige. So, if you prestige, you go back to level 1, And the first cosmetic item that you get is an icon in front of your name, right? And the second, that's not by the second prestige, it's still with the first prestige. It's a cosmetic add to your gameplay. It could be multiple things. It could be a different set of gloves for your character that you can look at all the time, but other players can see it as well. But it could also be something like, if you are prestige 1, you can actually paint the walls of your hideout. So I can make them red. I can make them in the color of my stream. And if you prestige a second time, you can change the ceiling. If you prestige a third time, you can do the floor. It is... Nobody will ever say play to win. Because the prestige will not give you a beneficial in better weapons, more damage or armor or whatsoever, you know? But I would like a not too serious cosmetic to the prestige, in my opinion. Because you lose everything. Like, your hideout gets reset, everything gets reset. But I do like the fact that if you prestige once, I can have like a glove that says 1 on it with a star. So I can show my hand to people, look at that, I'm prestige 1. Fuck you. You know, something like that. Like, we are gamers, come on. If you got something cool in your hideout, everybody wants to grab that item and be like, look at this item! You know, we like to flex. That's what gamers are, right? So, I would say add something like that to the prestige part. But again, that's my suggestion. That is not something that they're gonna do. That's literally my suggestion. So number 1 is lore, and the second one is prestige. My third add is daily quests. And daily quests are gonna be added after level 30. And the daily quests are gonna be changed in a few things. So you get like 3 quests every day. 1 quest is a kill quest. The second quest is a find, track, and extract. So you need to go to a specific location, put a tracker there, and then go out, give the intel, done. And the third quest is hand over a specific item that you need to find in raid. And then you also have a weekly quest, and that weekly quest should give you a pretty hard task, like kill 30 contractors this week, or find 2 gold bars. Something that is not per se easy for everybody. And then the rewards, the daily task rewards give common stuff like hideout stuff or a little bit of cash, and of course XP. And the weekly quest can actually give you good shit. That's something that I would have. And then added with those daily tasks, I would like extra progression as well. So you can prestige at level 50, but you can now actually go to level 70, because level 70 would be max level. So you have like some more content to do with the daily quests. If you don't feel like prestiging, you can just keep on going to level 70, but after level 50, you can prestige. That would be my top 3 suggestions to add to the game. So we're not talking about bug fixes, we're talking about adding things. And my adds would be number 1, lore, number 2, prestige, and number 3 would be daily and weekly tasks. And I think the prestige and the daily task combined would indeed be a really good thing. So we have actually come to the end of the community talk, and I actually hope that everybody loved it.